here. One Piece chapter 1132. Full summary spoilers chat. It's time to get lit. It's time to make some theories. It's time to cook. And most importantly, it is time for a genuine raw reaction chat. We're back, man. I told you we'd be back. We didn't come back yesterday. We weren't here yesterday. And that was not my fault. You guys can blame the leakers, blame Read On. They were supposed to come through with the spoilers, the long summary, and they just never did. But hey, they came through today. We got the long summary.
Let him cook.
We're gonna be cooking.
Let him cook now.
All of us together, we're gonna be making some theories. Hopefully this is good. Obviously, I have not read the full summary yet. We did read the short summary. We reacted. There wasn't that much to read. As you guys know, there wasn't that much to react to. But guys, we're back. We're back. We're back. I hope this is a good stream. I hope this is a good chapter. I hope there's some good meat, some juiciness, some good details. Pause on the juiciness. Pause. I hope there's some good details. Guys, how are we doing, guys? How are you doing? Chat, comment down below. How we feeling today, guys? How is everybody? We got Door Handle. What's good? Can't wait to see your Yap Yap No Me in action. Hey, hopefully there's something worth yapping about. Because as I just said, you were here, bro. We went through and we reacted to the short summary of the spoilers. There wasn't that much to yap with, right? There is nothing to talk about. So hopefully, right? Hopefully we have an excuse to yap today. Maya, welcome back. I'm glad to see you. Guys, comment down below. Seriously, when I ask you guys how you're doing, it's an actual question, okay? I'm not just saying it because I'm the YouTuber and the streamer. I want to know, guys, how are you guys feeling, guys? How are you doing? How is your guys' health? How is your relationships? How is it with your family, school, career, fitness, whatever it is, your content creation? Comment down below, guys. How are we feeling? How we feeling? We got okay. Welcome back. It feels crazy seeing the full summary after that break. I can't lie, man. That break was brutal, bro. What's good, OP Fanatic? These 2-week breaks, man, I'm telling you, they are just, it's just too much, man. It's just too much. And like with the 2-week break we had, it came right out of the blue. Didn't we think like we were gonna get spoilers like the day after or like 2 days after? We thought that the spoilers were right around the corner. Boom. No, we're going on a 2-week break. You know, we gotta us as people, us as fans and supporters of One Piece, we can't be selfish, right? Oda's still a human. He still has emotions. He still has to take care of his health. He has family. Bro, I get all that. But at the same time, we can't deny that we love One Piece. We can't deny that we want these chapters, right? So it's just a careful, tricky little balance to where we want to be greedy. We want to be selfish. And we want to tell Oda like, yo, I don't care what you have going on. I need the chapter. But at the same time, we can't be too selfish, you know? It's just, it's crazy, chat. But I'm glad to see you guys here. Zedeko, what's good? I haven't read them yet. Simon, welcome back. Oakley, welcome back. Be thankful for what I have. See, that's how you persevere through life. You got to be thankful. You got to be grateful. We got JJ. We got Big Bro in chat. Much love. Like the stream and I'm out. Yo, JJ, take care, bro. Hit me up. Let me know how you been, bro. Miss you, bro. Shout out to John Sherrod. That's a real one. Glad to see you, bro. Indian tradition. Welcome in, man. You're doing good. I'm glad to see. I'm doing great, bro. We're chilling. Eric, what's good? What's good? Mugiwara, what's good? Dre was good, bro. The live action has got to stop. Yeah. I mean, think about how many breaks. Think about how many chapters since like the whole conception of the live action. Think of the amount of chapters we've missed or like avoided or just didn't get because of the live action. It kind of hurts because again, you can't be too selfish, right? With the live action, don't get me wrong, like I think the manga is where it's at. The manga is the original source, right? And I just think the manga is the best. But at the same time, like the live action is going to bring more people to One Piece. And if people really enjoy the live action, then they might pick up the manga. And if they pick up the manga, hey, they're going to be in the stream. They're going to be in the community. They're going to be posting theories, you know? So it's a great way to get people into One Piece because, you know, a lot of people, when they hear that it's a manga, they're like, I don't really like reading manga. And then on top of that, you tell them there's like, what, almost 1,200 chapters, 1,100 chapters. then they're definitely like, oh yeah, I don't know, man, it's pretty long, bro. So, with the live action, it's a good opportunity to bring people into the fan base, bring people into the storyline. And we just have to be considerate that, we're gonna be missing chapters, and it's gonna be because of the live action. But me, I don't care too much about the live action. I did watch it, obviously, but I don't know. I'm not too invested in it. I'm invested in the source material. I'm invested in the peak piece. I'm invested into the manga. Oakley, great point, Eddie. LA gets people in. Anime takes them deeper than the manga lets them get into it deeply. Yeah, man. You guys know I always go on these rants and these tangents about why I think the manga is the best medium. But it really is, man. Like, one of the perks about the manga is like you consume the story at your own pace. Like, you could stare at the panel. You could think about the panel that you're looking at. You could look deeply into, the background, into the facial expressions. You have the time to fully digest each panel. Whereas if you watch the anime, like, who's gonna be sitting there with like a remote or with their mouse just pausing every 2 seconds? Like, no one does that. Like, they press the anime and then they let it play. Maybe they'll rewind it for certain things, but I think one of the best advantages with the manga is, of course, being able to digest each piece of dialogue. When a character says something that hints towards the One Piece or hints towards the Ancient Kingdom, you can actually sit there and look at the panel, and you sit there and you digest it and you think about it. But if you were watching the anime, you're not really, how often are you really going to pause and rewind? Was good, VJ. We're gonna be starting the long summary spoilers soon. If you want the full picture, it's on my Discord server. Karu, what's good, bro? Haven't seen the full spoilers. I'll just watch you go over them. Hey, I hope it's good, man. I hope it's good, because as you guys have said already, like, 2-week break, man. Oda, please, bro, don't fumble. My grandpa died. Finished up the funeral yesterday. Yo, OP Fanatic chat, can we just get a moment of silence for OP Fanatic's grandfather? OP Fanatic, I am very sorry to hear, man. At least he doesn't have to struggle in this evil, wicked world. He's at rest. He gets to rest. He earned his reward. He can rest now. God bless him. I cannot speak on you or him or his family. I am not the creator. I am not the judge, but I pray that he's in paradise. I pray that he's blessed with the Lord. And regardless of what he believes, I just hope for the best of you and your family, bro. Be the one that your family can depend on, It's moments like these where you got to be strong. You got to be the leader. You got to be the man in charge. You got to be the one that people can lean on, And there's nothing wrong with being hurt and being anguished and being depressed and feeling really bad. Like, that shows your empathy. That shows that you're literally a human, right? So feel those emotions. Don't try to block them out. Feel them. Be a normal human being. Grieve. Do what you got to do, and then you stand back up, bro, and you keep marching. And I'm really sorry to hear, bro. Cancer's terrible. Chat, we got to take care of ourselves. We got to watch what we eat. We got to look at the ingredients in our foods, the ingredients in our shampoo, conditioner, all these kinds of things. We got to be very careful, because, it's not always about us. And chat, I don't want to get into too much of a tangent. I'm just trying to, offer some guidance, love, and encouragement to OP Fanatic and you guys. We can't be too selfish. We might want to do things to our body and be reckless and live recklessly, but wait a second, if something happens to us, that's going to cause our friends and family to be in a lot of pain, So don't live recklessly, like, oh, well, I don't care if I get sick. I don't care if this happens to me. I don't care if I'm running this risk. Don't be selfish. What about your friends? What about your family? Because if something happens to you, they're going to be hurt. Right? And shouldn't you be here on earth to love God and love other people? That's what I believe. That's what I see through the Bible. We're here to not only love God, but to love others, right? How are you going to love others if you just endanger yourself, right? But OP Fanatic, God bless you, bro. Stay strong. Be a human. Let those emotions come out. Let those emotions ooze out. Don't try to block them out. Just be raw in the emotions, and you'll be able to stand up, and you'll be able to continue marching forward, King. King J, where you been, bro? This man King J dipped out, bro. How long has it been, bro? I was thinking the other day, I was like, man, where is that boy Jay? Manga 100% better. Lucas was good, bro. But Red 40 tastes so good. Yo, Red 40, man. That Red 40. We can't do the Red 40. All right, guys, you ready to jump into these spoilers, man? You guys ready? More details of the chapter by myself, chapter of 17 pages, chapter 1132. Adventure in Elbath? What are we gonna read this week, guys? We got our boy L. We got young L, King L in the chat. The real one, the one and only. The St. Charlos Agenda founder. L, the founder of the St. Charlos Foundation. The CEO of the St. Charlos Foundation. What's good, L? Guys, who's ready? Who's ready? You guys know we got to do a little prayer before we jump in. We got to give thanks to our Lord, Thanksgiving. And we'll be reading this, chat. We'll try to stay on topic, okay? No promises. You guys know how we are. No promises. I'm not saying I will never yap. I'm sure there's going to be someone's going to say something in the chat and it's going to bait me into going on a whole rant, or maybe I'll see something in the spoilers. Maybe I'll see Goldberg. Now I'm going on a JQ rant. Man of culture. Anyone got the link to the spoilers for us lazy folk? It should be on my Discord. Or, you know what I could do? Let me go on Twitter. Let me pull up Mr. OP Fanatic on Twitter. You guys got to see, you guys are bums. If you guys don't follow OP Fanatic on Twitter, you're a bum. And if you don't have a Twitter account, okay, fine. But if you got a Twitter account, follow OP Fanatic 2024. This is how you guys get the spoilers within seconds. Not minutes, not hours, within seconds. The very nanosecond these leakers start dropping the spoilers, OP Fanatic already has it posted. So you guys could get the short summary, the long summary, whatever it is, the chapter releases. Follow OP Fanatic 2024, okay? So here's the link for you guys that want to see the full summary for yourself. Okay? Shout out to that boy OP Fanatic. He said, let's bait him. Bro, King J, don't do this, man. Initial spoilers made me think the chapter was going to be A. Yeah, I mean, that's the case a lot, right? We read the short summary and we're like, ah, bro, this chapter is going to be mid. But, you know, these guys with the leakers, they only want to put so much information in the short summary. And I think like this week with the short summary was like egregiously bad, because the first 2 points was about the beginning of the chapter, and then the last 2 points was the final. There was 4 points. The first 2 points was the beginning of the chapter. The last 2 points was the ending of the chapter. There was like no content, right? But I'm curious to see this, guys. Let's do a quick prayer. Let's do a quick prayer. Let's do a quick prayer, because I do care about you guys, and I got to give thanksgiving to the Lord. Guys, to all my fellow Christians, let's bow our heads in reverence and give a prayer and give a thanks to he who is in me, not he who is in the world. All right. Dear Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. My Lord and my God, my refuge, my stronghold, my Savior, my deliverer, Jesus Christ, thank you for another day of life. Thank you for reforming my mind, body, and soul. Thank you for reforming my heart. Thank you for lifting the veil from my eyes. Thank you for showing me the darkness in the world. Thank you for showing me the light in the world. Thank you for showing me the lies in the world, and thank you for showing me the truth in the world. I thank you for protecting me every day. I thank you for giving me courage to make content. I thank you for guiding me. I thank you for filling me with the Holy Spirit. I thank you for protecting my friends. I thank you for protecting my family. I thank you for protecting my supporters. There is an endless list of things I could thank you for. And Jesus Christ, I can never sit down and list them all. That list is far too great. Jesus, I come to you today to ask you to protect, guide, and encourage every single person watching the stream. Lord, please be with them. I don't know if they're struggling in school, their health, their finances, their career, their family, depression, anxiety, social anxiety, whatever it is, Lord, I ask that you protect them. Be with them in this moment. We need your help. We're lost sheep in this dark, wicked world. We need you. You are the Savior. You died for us on the cross. You died for our iniquities, and you rose on the third day. And you've proven your truth through the manuscripts, through the copies of the manuscripts, through the Holy Spirit leading the church, for you reforming millions of people around the world for thousands of years. Jesus, I ask that you take care of everyone watching the stream. I ask that you bless the stream. Lord, keep me from error. Help me speak precisely. Help me get across the messages I need to get across perfectly. Help me bring glory to your name, and help me with the courage and the bravery to enact and create a powerful, loving, light-filled stream. And take care of everyone who's here. Be with them, encourage them, give them wisdom and knowledge, give them bravery, give them the strength, give them the mental fortitude, and give them the guidance so that they can make it through this world and accomplish their goals. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Look, Noob the God beat me to it. Bro already dropped the 5. Thank you. Noob the God, thank you with the 5. Amen. Amen, bro. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it, Noob. You're a legend. You're amazing. Thank you for your contribution, bro. You've been supporting for a while. Don't think I forgot you, bro. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it, bro. Amen. All right, guys. Now this is where the magic begins. Now
Let him cook now.
We're jumping into the real deal, Holyfield. One Piece chapter 1132, Adventure in Elbaf. Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage Volume 19. Yamato reaches Udon Castle that is being rebuilt in the middle of the old prison mine. Guys, can we get some comments? We are at volume 19 of the cover story. What do we feel about the cover story? Is it gas or is it trash? You guys know I've been very critical. And you guys know at the same time, yeah, I've been a little critical, but I've also been patient. You guys hear me week in and week out. Oda, I'm not expecting every single chapter to be insane. I'm not expecting every single cover story to be insane. I'm not expecting that. But at some point, Oda, you gotta pick up the pace, man. What is this cover story going to? You guys know we've spoken on a million occasions now that the likelihood of Blackbeard appearing in the cover story at Wano is very high. But chat, we're at volume 19. Little to nothing has happened in this cover story. We see Wano here and there being rebuilt. We see Yamato and her little adventures. A sword goes missing, and that's it. You know. So how do we feel? Dre says trash. Simon says the more Yamato, the better. Oakley says snooze. Zeniris was good, bro. Zen says it's trash. Let's go, baby. I popped up on time. Hey, you popped in perfectly on time. But I don't know, man. Chat, I don't know with this cover story, man. It's just... Again, I'm trying to be patient. I'm not trying to rush him. I'm not trying to say, yo, every single cover story needs to be mind-blowing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we're 19 volumes in. What's going on, man? What's going on, Oda? And again, he's sprinkling information with Wano. You know, the rebuilding Wano. Yamato's traveling through Wano because she's been imprisoned her whole life. He's taking his time, but at the same time, it's like, all right, you got to speed this up at some point. The day Shanks comes on cover page. The day Shanks comes on the cover page, what? That'll be the day? Is it Saeed? Thank you so much for the 249, bro. Thank you so much. We missed you, bro. Hey, missed you too. Is it Saeed or Torbayev? Thank you, bro. Shout out to you. Shout out to Noob the God. I appreciate the contributions. Thank you for the supers. Zen says you're right. he do need to pick up the pace. Talking about it's ending in 5 years, bro. Guys, if you see Oda and these editors try to say that, oh yeah, One Piece is gonna end in 4 years, 5 years, bro, chat, just ignore them. Like, think about it logistically. There's no way that the Elbaf arc is less than 100 chapters. We get 34 chapters a year, so it's a little over 3 years just for Elbaf to end. Then you got to think like, wait, aren't we possibly going to get a Blackbeard arc? Aren't we going to get a Laugh-Tale arc? Surely the Laugh-Tale arc is longer than Odin's flashback, right? Right, chat, right? Yes or no? One for yes, two for no. Surely the Laugh-Tale arc is longer than Odin's flashback, right? So if it's older, if it's longer than Odin's flashback was what, 17 chapters, 18 chapters for Odin's flashback? Then Laugh-Tale has to be what, 30? That's a whole year. So think about it. When you're actually running through this logistically, there's no way that it's going to end in 4 years. Again, 100 chapters for Elbaf, being generous. 100, that's about 3 years. 30 chapters, maybe slightly less for Laugh-Tale, that's a total of 4 years. Then you have pre-Final War. Then you have Final War. Then you have Epilogue. Dude, that's like another 150, 200, maybe 250 chapters on top of the 300. There's no way OP ends in 4 years. I bet my life on it, bro. The only way it could is if Oda just speed runs the rest of the story. And would that really be good? Would that really be good for Laugh-Tale to be 5 chapters? Would it really be that good for Elbaf to be 40 chapters? Like, you spent 1,000 chapters building up Elbaf just to make it last 40 chapters. But wait a second, wasn't Egghead 60 chapters? Who still reads that cover story? Unfortunately, me. All right, guys, let's get into the first point. Chapter starts where the last one ended. We see that the Great Eric ship, Eirik, however you say it, we see that the Great Eric ship is reaching the Elbaf port. A kid comes out to greet the ship. He is the same kid who was in the bar with Shanks in chapter 1076. The kid's name is it Colin? Colin? Yo, chat, how do we pronounce this name? So now he actually has a name. You guys remember how we were calling him Boofy? Who remembers that? Chapter 1076, when the little kid was in the bar at Elbaf with Shanks, and he gave us Luffy vibes. Weren't we calling him Boofy? Two Piece? Apparently his name is it Colin? Or is it Colin? Chat, how do you pronounce his name? So he actually has a name now. I wonder what Oda's gonna do with this character. Cause come on, Oda, you drew him in the bar at Elbaf with Shanks, kind of like giving us a little hint to something, nudging us in the direction that he's going to play some kind of role. And now he's running out to the ship and he's greeting the ship and he's named. Oda's going to do something with this character, guys. Let's see some Colin theories. That sounds insane out of context. Colin, my bad. Let's see some Colin theories. Call him Colin, why not? Eric, a Viking that found Vinland. Oh, really? Is that an actual thing? There was a Viking named Eric found Vinland. I just remember kid getting cooked. That's all we remember from the earlier chapters showing Elbaf. Kid getting cooked. Isn't the colon in Oregon? Yeah. So when I said that we need to start the colon theories, that sounds insane out of context. Don't even get us started on all the hiatuses, LMAO. We're in it for 10 years minimum? Probably, man. And see, I don't have a problem with that. As long as the pacing is good and we're getting some banger chapters, hey, bro, take 20 years. I don't care. All right. Colin shouts at the Great Eric ship, asking them to stop by. But Dory and Broggy say they'll go directly to the upper world. Okay, so chat, when they say upper world, are they talking about the tree? Are they going to take the ship up the tree? Colin goes into the bar and Oh, no, I want to go back again. Colin shouts at the Great Eric ship, asking them to stop by. But Dory and Broggy said that they'll go directly to the upper world. So, chat, when they say directly to the upper world, are they gonna take the ship up the tree? They explain more later on. Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. You OP fanatic, you know how I'm preaching to the choir. You know how we do it here. We like to go in point by point, and we like to fully digest each point. Okay, I'll take your word for that. I'll take your word for that. Colin goes into the bar and tells the bar lady that he's following them up there because he wants to meet Luffy. Then we see a flashback panel of Shanks talking with Colin. I knew it, bro. I knew it. I knew it. The moment I read that Colin wants to meet Luffy, I instantly thought, yeah, Shanks told him. Because I was gonna, if this point right here in the spoilers didn't say, oh, Shanks spoke with Colin, I was gonna ask you guys. I was gonna be like, chat, do we think that Shanks told Colin about Luffy? I was about to ask that. Shanks says, do not forget this name, Straw Hat Luffy. Oh no, Shanks is a real one, bro. I'm telling you, evil Shanks. Rat Shanks is dying by the chapter. It is dying by the chapter. It is getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, bro. Shanks is not a villain. Shanks is not an antagonist. It's not happening. He went to the Gorosei simply to talk to them about Blackbeard, just like how in pre-time skip he went to Whitebeard to speak about Blackbeard. You know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's that kind of thing. Plus, Shanks has the Celestial Dragon blood. Figurlin blood. This man Shanks is a real one. The bar lady gives Colin some food for him and for his dad. And she gives him some food, too, for someone called Ripley in Japanese. Then Colin leaves the bar. Yo, Ripley. Ripley. Yo, Saeed, what's good, bro? Thank you for the 249. Do you think Big Mom will return in Elbaf? Chat. Chat. I want some answers. Put a 1 in chat if you do believe Big Mom will return in the Elbaf arc. Put a 2 in chat if you do not believe Big Mom will return in the Elbaf arc. Okay? Let me get some answers. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to put a 1 because when you guys think about Big Mom's flashback, 90% of it was Elbaf. And I don't have a bias to Big Mom. I'm indifferent. I don't care too much about her. But, I mean, you guys can't ignore it, right? Like, look at her flashback. Elbaf was deeply embedded into her flashback. Do we really think she died? I see a lot of 2s. I don't see a single person. Oakley is the only person that said 1. I don't know, man. Do we really think that she's dead now? She's gone? You can have her, but I don't want Big Mom, man. I don't want anything to do with Big Mom. It's just like, do we really think that she's dead? That was how she died? That's the finisher? It seems a little vague, don't you think? Also, what about like the comments about her, right? Like, why wouldn't there have been a comment from the Vivri cards, right? Doesn't Big Mom's children have her Vivri card? I don't know, man. Like, I do get it. Big Mom, you know, she fell, right? She was in a volcano. The volcano erupted. That, by the way, Chad, that is an insane way to go out. Big Mom and Kaido landed in a volcano and the volcano erupted. That is insane. I don't know, man. I don't really have a preference. If she comes back, she comes back. If she doesn't, she doesn't. But I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe it doesn't even have to be during Elbaf. Maybe during Final War, she comes back and she's like, you know what, bro? I hate the Celestial Dragons. I hate the world government. I don't know, man. Nobody dies in One Piece except Ace. Yeah, Ace is the only character to have ever died. Ace and Cobra. Nah, watch. Oda's gonna pull a red herring. He's gonna pull a curveball, and Cobra's gonna be alive. Yo, chat. Would you guys be upset if Cobra was still alive? Was good one. That ish whistles when she walks. She's probably not dead, but it's like the kid thing. Once you're cooked type of thing. I don't know. Kid seems kind of out of here. But see, the problem that I have with Kid and his future in the story is that Kid, in a lot of ways, is meant to be a foil character of Law. And I feel like if you read the story, you should realize that Law is not going to be abandoned by Oda. So if Oda continues the plot line of Law, and we know that Kid, in a lot of ways, is a foil character to Law, then it seems that Oda will be consistent and he would have Law continue in the story through a new plot line and have Kid continue in the story, because they're what are they, what do you call it, they're running together. What do you call it? Not forerunners, they're like, I don't remember the word. Yo, we got Greg was good, bro. Zedeko says she's not dead, but like Kid, her role in the story's ended. Yeah, I can understand that. So you guys think that like her defeat at Wano just makes her think like, you know what, I don't want to be Pirate King anymore? Do you think she's like, oh, you know what, I finally tag teamed to Kaido and I instantly lost, I don't even care about the One Piece anymore? Do you think she just gave up? I highly doubt Law would give up. See, that's the thing. Not only would Law be giving up on the One Piece, but he'd also be giving up on the Checkered Fate. And he made this promise with not only Robin, but with Corazon. We could see the return of Katakuri. I don't know. Katakuri, I love Katakuri. He seems really cool. He's bad, but my thing with Katakuri is like, Katakuri is not looking good right now. And this is coming from someone, I like Katakuri. I don't have any reason to slander him. But you have to admit, if you guys are a Katakuri fan, you have to admit, Katakuri is not looking good right now. He failed to protect Whole Cake Island from the Blackbeard pirates. He hasn't gotten Pudding. He hasn't rescued Big Mom. Katakuri does not look good right now. All right? I don't want to get too off topic. Zen says that's why Law's defeat versus Blackbeard was not the same as Kid's. Law's still in the race. Yeah, Law is 100% going to continue in the story. 100%. When you just look at the post-time skip and how he made these promises with Robin. What was it, on two different occasions he spoke to Robin? Yeah, it was on 2 different occasions, because at the beginning of the Wano arc, didn't he speak with her? And then he spoke with her. Yeah, it was at the beginning of the Wano arc. Robin and Law spoke, and he mentioned the Checkered Fate. And then he instantly had the flashback of Corazon. And then at the end of Wano, when Robin and Law made it to the road poneglyph, they spoke again. There's no way that Oda's gonna throw out Law. That just makes no sense. That's completely inconsistent. And Oda knows that Law is a fan favorite, so of course he's gonna continue Law's plot line. Right? Like, look at the SBSs where Oda talked about how originally he wanted to make Kid one of like the forerunners. He wanted to make Kid like one of the more pivotal supernova, and then he saw the popularity behind Law, so he's like, all right, I'm gonna give Law some shine. You guys know what I'm talking about. Real fans know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm sure Greg, being the encyclopedia that he is, being the librarian that he is, he probably knows the exact SBS volume I'm referring to. Katakuri is sadly washed, man. Can't even save his mama and his sister. He couldn't save his mom, he couldn't save his sister, and he couldn't save his own island. So what is Katakuri doing then? We didn't see him do anything in the manga and the anime at Whole Cake Island. He wasn't there. He did nothing. He hasn't rescued Pudding. And if he went to go rescue Pudding and had a conflict with Blackbeard, it would have 100% been referenced or alluded to. And then with Big Mom, it's completely up in the air. So, Greg, I was just talking about how what was I talking about? Oh, there was the SBS volume talking about how Oda initially wanted Kid to be one of the more notable forerunners of the supernova, but then Oda noticed the popularity behind Law, so he pushed Law to the front. It's in an SBS volume. Kid will possibly scrub his prideful tendencies and a kinder, happier Kaido who wants to help Joy Boy. It wouldn't surprise me with Oda. Yeah, because you know, man. Here, I'm just gonna comment on that, and we'll get back to the spoilers. But you know, it was a few years ago during the Wano arc where I made a video talking about how Kaido eventually will team up with Luffy, and that just seems, it still seems logically sound. Oh, Kaido has this connection. He has this like this relationship in a way with Joy Boy. Well, guess what? He just got defeated by Joy Boy, and we saw his conversation with King. So if Kaido realizes and he concedes to the fact that Luffy is Joy Boy, then it makes perfect sense that Kaido would eventually help Luffy, right? That seems very straightforward to me, at least. What's good, Leon? Katakuri's stronger than King? I don't know. Is that true? All right, guys, let's continue. Let's continue. The Great Eric ship approaches to a massive rainbow that connects the sea and the second level of the Elbaf tree. Rainbow Road was created by the giants on the ship. They painted the rainbow with painter. Sunstone. Chat, is this a reference to Dressrosa? Is this a reference to Dressrosa? What was the lady's name that was drawing things as a painter? What was her name? The Great Eric ship approaches a massive rainbow that connects the sea and the second level of the Elbaf tree. Rainbow Road was created by the giants on the ship. They painted the rainbow with painter. Sunstone. Is that a reference to Giola? Yeah, that was her name. Yeah. Wasn't she painting things? Chat, is the stream crashed? Is the stream frozen? Yeah, are we good? Chat, are we good? Oh, we're good now? Hold on, I want to actually pull that up right now. We froze? Okay, we're back. We're back. We're back. This lady from Dressrosa. Remember she was a painter? Remember that? She was a painter in Dressrosa. Did she paint things that came to life? I don't remember what it was. She was painting things. Giola seems to possess an unusually capable body. Giola ate the Ata Ata no Mi Paramecia type devil fruit that allows her to alter the shape and appearance of any object, including... Oh, this is also... Chat, is this also a callback to Little Garden? What was the girl's name that was painting things on Little Garden? Little Garden Painter. Because obviously, Elbaf is going to have callbacks to Little Garden. Remember the girl that was painting things? What was her name, chat? What was her name? You guys know what I'm talking about. The girl that she was the little girl. I think she painted a circle or something like that. Mrs. Golden Week. I think that's what it was. Shout out to Vazu. Let me double check. Mrs. Golden Week. Shout out to Vazu. Yeah, Marianne. Yeah. So is this a callback? Is this a callback?
Let him cook. Let him cook now.
You mean to tell me Little Garden foreshadowed so much of Elbaf 1,000 chapters ago, and now at the beginning of Elbaf, we see how the giants are painting a rainbow road, just like how Marianne was painting things? Wait a minute. Ooh, is this a callback? Ooh. We see a beautiful double page with the Great Eric ship going up a rainbow road as Hiruden's smaller ship comes out to greet and join them, with Hiruden and Stanzen in the ship. The Straw Hat crew says, "We are really crossing on the rainbow." Bragi says, "Ga ba 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 ba. Great wind today, a good day for rainbow sailing." Jinbei says, "Luffy and the others are going to be thrilled seeing this." Cut back to the bridge above the underworld. Gerd and Goldberg are running and they suddenly see Luffy jumping from the underworld. Gerd loves smaller humans and think Luffy is very cute. Gerd and Goldberg greet Luffy and he jumps on Gerd's hand. They ask Luffy what he's doing down there. Luffy thinks back to what Loki said to him. Loki says, "Do not tell anyone about the fact that you met me here, and don't talk about our promise as well." Chat, what was the promise? Was the promise that if Luffy frees Loki, Loki will fight on behalf of Luffy? That's the promise, right? See this chat, this man Loki, he's a trickster, bro. This man Loki, he's conniving, bro. Loki has something under his sleeve. Chat, we can't fully trust him. I don't even think Luffy should fully trust him. And Luffy's an interesting case because we see that Luffy at times could be gullible, but then by the same token, we've seen Luffy read people's hearts before. You know what I mean, chat? We've seen Luffy read people's hearts before. So if Loki's promising that if Luffy saves him, he'll fight on behalf of Luffy, don't you guys think that Luffy would be able to detect Loki's deception? Yes or no? 1 for yes, 2 for no. That's our new rule. Whenever I ask you guys a question, 1 for yes, 2 for no. Don't you guys think that Luffy would be able to detect the deception in Loki's heart? Hasn't Luffy done that before? He's detected deception in people's heart and has trusted them, right? Guys, make sure you like the stream. Is it VJ or Vijay? VJ? I'm gonna call you Radhika. What's good, Radhika? Lucas, what's good? Luffy probably asked Loki to tell him about Shanks' business. So do we think that Luffy and Loki spoke more and it was off-screened? I wouldn't mind that. That doesn't really bother me. But do we think that again, do we think that Luffy and Loki spoke more and Oda off-screened it for now? Luffy can't detect Boa Hancock's emotions. No, too. Man, I'm telling you, I can't think of when it was, but there was one time a character was telling Luffy something and Luffy detected the deception correctly. I don't remember what the context was. Maybe someone in chat remembers. Marianne is the name of the French symbol. I don't know why, but I genuinely want Loki to join the Straw Hat crew for some reason. I mean, Loki is a sick character. He's really cool. I just have to think like, all right, let me put my own personal bias to the side. Is there precedence for him joining? I don't know, man. I don't think Oda's going to add too many characters. I will die on the hill that Bonnie she's set to join, bro. Like, if Oda came to me and Oda was like, listen, I'm only going to add one more crew member. It's either Vivi or it's Bonnie. I would literally contemplate that. Look at Bonnie's character. Look at this arc of Egghead Island. It just makes way too much sense for her to join. So if you're willing to concede that Bonnie joins, if you're willing to concede that Vivi returns, that's another 2 members. Are we going to have another 3 members? Are we going to add another one on top of that? I don't know, man. Unless he can shrink or has a size power, he can't join or won't fit on the ship. Last crew member comes from Shanks' crew in a Davy back fight. Book it. All right, Greg. We'll remember that. If the final crew member joins because of the Davy back fight, Greg takes the biggest W of all time. Because we've all seen how people talk about Luffy and Shanks having a Davy back fight, but I've never seen someone say that the last crew member is going to officially join the crew because of that fight. I haven't seen people take that step. Just like Odin joining Roger from Whitebeard's crew. Luffy will have all allies final arc. What do you mean have all allies? What do you mean by that specifically? Luffy can detect emotions, but he can't if he's under plot-induced stupidity by Oda. That's a tricky one, though. Luffy and Loki will be like Luffy and Katakuri. So yes, he'll analyze his emotions and Loki will be impressed by the fight between Luffy and him, which he will love. Chat, I got another question. Do we think that Luffy is going to take accountability for defeating Loki? Or do we think that Usopp is going to take responsibility for defeating Loki? Because clearly Loki is extremely strong, right? I think we can all agree Loki is a strong character. And sure, we could sit here and be like, oh, well, what is strong? You got to be specific. What is strong, right? But like, come on. I think we could agree that Loki is a strong character. He seems, from what I'm understanding, Loki is very much above Usopp. So what would it be? Would it be Luffy Would it be Luffy defeating Loki, but then Usopp gets the credit? Because then there's another problem. If that's the case, another problem arises from that. If Luffy defeats Loki, but Usopp is credited, isn't that a problem because Luffy is the sun god? Shouldn't the sun god get the credit, not Usopp? Plot twist, possibly? Maybe Mrs. Golden Week has a sunstone in brush. Oh, that's a good one. But didn't it say that Mrs. Golden Week has a devil fruit? Or no. It said that she was using magic or something like that. She didn't have a fruit. She uses some kind of magic or something like that. Yo, who was it that said that? Shout out to Will of Dreams. Ho ho. Marianne utilizes her unique abilities or her unique skills as a painter to employ a special type of hypnosis based on colored paint. In this way, she could change a person's personality through the use of certain colors, influencing their behavior as she sees fit and forcing them to do whatever the trap suggests no matter what. That's interesting. Maybe her paint has like sunstone in it. Also, isn't it interesting? It's sunstone. It couldn't be moonstone. It couldn't be Marstone. It couldn't be Venus stone. It's sunstone. Chat, this might have a connection to the ancient kingdom. This might have a connection to Nika or Joy Boy. Sunstone? Maybe her, like what Will of Dreams said, maybe her painting, her paints, her paintbrush, whatever, however you want to spin it, same conclusion. It has something to do with the sunstone, and when she uses it on people, it's a hypnosis, but when the giants use it on a rainbow, it's just like a rainbow road. Huh. Zack Sake theorized Marianne's painting and Usopp's Elbaf upgrade. I mean, I guess that would kind of fit in line, right? Because Usopp is like a trickster, right? So if he had like this trickster ability like that of Marianne's paint, I guess that would be consistent. Sunstone as some opposition to Seastone. Hey.
Let him cook.
Oakley.
Let him cook now.
Chat, take some notes. Oakley Turner said Sunstone as some opposition to Seastone. Ooh. See, this is going to be an important point. Guys, I don't want you to forget about this. As theorists, as One Piece scholars, do not forget about this. We have now been introduced to something called a sunstone. Okay, let's not forget about this. I can guarantee that this is going to become pivotal at some point. Rainbow Road is created by the giants on the ship. They painted the rainbow with painter Sunstone. So now there's a sunstone and there's a sea stone. And it's interesting that the sunstone would help create a rainbow road. Like, so when you think of a rainbow, you think of goodness, right? Because God created the rainbow, not this group of people that want to pervert that. So when you think about the rainbow, it lines up with goodness, holiness, unity. It lines up with God's divine nature. It lines up with liberty, right? But then you think of the sea stone, and the sea stone restrains you. So the sunstone creates rainbows, which gives a feeling, a sense of liberty. But then the sunstone, it restrains devil fruit users. It gives a sense of opposition, a sense of oppression. Sea stone is opposition, it's oppression, but then sunstone is like liberty. I wonder how far Oda's willing to take that. Counterpoint, the sea stone suppresses devils, making it the holy one. Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. But you know, the way I see it is, I think the fact that they're called devil fruits is it's propaganda. Right? We already know that they lie about the Nika fruit. We already know that they don't want to label and name it in the book. The government, they get to dictate how the world views things. The One Piece world lives in 1984, essentially, newspeak. I don't think that it's literally devil fruits. It's probably actually angel fruits or something. It's probably called something else. And the world government gave it this name. That's what I believe. That's just my own opinion. So, and again, look at the nature of it, though. because the sea stone, whether you want to talk about how it's devil fruits or angel fruits, regardless if it's devil fruits or angel fruits, it's still oppression, right? It's restraining you. So like, let's say it was called angel fruits instead of devil fruits. See, this sea stone still oppresses you. It still restrains you. But if we look at it in the context that it's devil fruits, it still restrains you. It's still oppression. So I'm looking at the nature of it. The nature of the sea stone, it's oppression. But now there's this new thing called sunstone, which grants rainbows. It creates rainbows. That gives me the sense of liberty. Chat, can someone look up like deeper meanings, like the deeper emphasis on rainbows? Can someone go ahead and do that? Go on Google, go Wikipedia, go Chat GPT, go on Grok. What is the deeper implication of a rainbow? What is the deeper meaning and symbolism behind rainbows? Yeah, biblical. Here, let's go with this one. Response number 2. Man, you guys think I yap? Look at ChatGPT, bro. Friendship? Yeah, I mean, who was it originally that brought up the antithesis between sunstone and sea stone? I forgot who it was. It was either Will of Dreams or it was Oakley. I forgot who it was. There's probably multiple people. Rainbows hold deep meaning and symbolism across cultures, religions, and philosophies, often representing themes of hope, promise, connection, and transformation. Here's an exploration of their deeper meanings: a promise or covenant, biblical symbolism. In Christianity, the rainbow is a sign of God's covenant with Noah after the flood, symbolizing a promise of mercy and renewal. It represents divine faithfulness and hope after destruction. Universal connection. Many traditions view rainbows as a bridge between the divine and human realms. Ooh.
Let him cook. Let him cook now.
Signifying a bond or agreement between higher powers and earthly beings. Harmony and differences. The spectrum of colors symbolizes the beauty of diversity and the unity that can arise from it. This theme is seen in modern contexts like where it represents inclusivity and solidarity across varied identities. Natural synergy. Scientifically, a rainbow forms from light and water, a harmonious union of elements, reflecting the idea that beauty emerges from different forces working together. So chat, I think we can all agree. 1 in chat for yes, 2 in chat for no. Do we believe that the sea stone and the sunstone are going to be antithetical to each other? 1 or 2 in chat. Do you believe that the sunstone and now this new thing called the sea stone and what we formerly knew, I guess what we know as the sea stone, do we believe that the sea stone and the sunstone are going to be antithetical to each other? That there's going to be deeper implications? Because if you say yes, we need to start thinking about this. We need to start making theories about this. I mean, I feel like the proof is in the pudding. You're telling me now, these guys, Oda, let me get this straight. You built up 1,000 chapters to Elbaf. Okay, so clearly Elbaf's important. One of the first things we see at the beginning of the arc for the Eric ship to reach the tree, they had to use a sunstone. But wait a second, didn't you just say that Joy Boy, in previous chapters, didn't you just say that Joy Boy once went to Elbaf, and the people of Elbaf, when they saw Joy Boy, they compared Joy Boy to Nika, and Nika's the sun god. But then you also said that Loki's trying to portray himself as sun god. You also said that Luffy's the sun god. You also said that Road is trying to portray himself as a sun god. So with all of this emphasis on Joy Boy, sun god Nika, the sun, and moreover, even Big Mom's flashback, they talked about the sun god. All of this emphasis on the sun god, you mean to tell me it's just a coincidence that they're able to create rainbows with a sunstone? It's not a coincidence. So we have to think about the deeper implications between the sunstone and sea stone. Man, chat, this guys, Oda, bro. This man Oda, bro.
Cook. Let him cook now.
We got L with the 2. Thank you, King. Sunstone augments devil fruit powers. That would be wild. Shout out to L, bro. Imagine what L. Correct me if I'm misinterpreting you. You give a devil fruit user sea stone, they're oppressed. You give a devil fruit user sunstone, and now they're just like manipulating their abilities. Maybe it's a shortcut to awakening. It has some kind of benefit to devil fruit users. That a L, you're on to something, bro. Because clearly, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but clearly, sea stone, sunstone are antithetical to each other. They are diametrically opposing each other. So if sunstone, or so if sea stones, my mind's a mess right now. If sea stones oppress the devil fruit user, what would a sunstone do to a devil fruit user? Yo, this man L, bro. Maybe it's like maybe a sea stone. I keep saying sea stone. Maybe a sunstone for a devil fruit user can amplify their abilities. Maybe they have more imagination or something like that. More abilities, more attacks, more wiggle room with what they could do. Or maybe sunstone can maybe it can be a shortcut to an awakening. I don't know, man. That's interesting, bro. That's interesting. Greg said sunstone gives knowledge of the fruit or taps into the previous you. Yeah. See, Greg and L are on to something, guys.
Let him cook. Let him cook now.
And Vincent too. Maybe you can make weapons out of sunstone. That would be interesting. Door handle, I'm not ignoring you, brother. I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to read as many messages as I can. But back to Vincent, maybe you can make weapons out of sunstone. Dude, that'd be crazy, because wasn't Smoker was like, what, isn't he the only Marine with a sea stone weapon? I wonder what a sunstone weapon would be. See, chat, this man Oda, bro.
Let him cook. Let him cook now.
This man Oda, all he had to do was vaguely mention that, oh yeah, by the way, the Giants, they made a road with a sunstone. And we're like, wait a second. What do you mean sunstone? Dude, this man Oda, like, he could write something in his perfect way, just a vague little mention, and now you want to build up this whole thing. This dude Oda, man. Bro, don't get me wrong, Oda is not flawless. There are things in One Piece that I think could be better, but sometimes, bro, Oda is just on a different level, bro. Like, sometimes he can write so perfectly. Greg said, wait. Sunstone is the sea stone to whatever the Gorsei and Emu are.
Let him cook. Let him cook now.
So, if the Gorsei are not powered by devil fruits, sea stone would therefore not oppress the Gorsei. But sunstones could oppress the Gorsei by whatever means the Gorsei gets their power from. Which, by the way, I think they use black magic. I don't care how you word it. Pentagrams, rituals, whatever. Black magic, however you want to call it. I think the Gorsei get their powers from black magic. And doesn't that make perfect sense? If they get their power from black magic, wouldn't the sunstone oppress that? Whoo, this man Greg, bro. This man Greg.
Let him cook.
Bro.
Let him cook now.
Yo, chat, let this man Greg cook, man. The yokai are depowered by sunstone. Yes, and if it, like, let's go down this road for a second. Again, if the Gorsei are not powered by devil fruits, hence why Oda did not reveal the devil fruit name, then maybe they're powered by something else. We already see that they do black magic. You guys have seen me pull up the panels a million times, the official translations. They explicitly say magic circle. They explicitly say black magic. Kamakura Island. They explicitly say Satan. They explicitly say sacrifices. So if you want to concede and you're like, okay, fine. They're powered by some sort of black magic ritual, whatever. The sunstone is a perfect antithesis to that, which would therefore oppress the Gorsei. So what you could do, Greg, what they could do is make, instead of sea stone cuffs, sunstone cuffs, and cuff the Gorsei. Sunstone cuffs. Put them on the hands of the Gorosei and throw them in prison. Oh, yo, this man Greg, dude. This man Greg and L. Who was it? Was it Greg, Oakley, L, Will of Dreams? They just came together and just, bro, I didn't even have to do anything. Chat, all I had to do was just read out their chat, their comments. All I had to do was read out the chats. All glory and credit to Greg, L, Oakley, and Will of Dreams. I hope I'm not forgetting somebody. You would need a cuff emu? Yeah, cuff emu. Yo, remember when Brooke was summoned by Black Magic Circle? That might be a lot to explore. Exactly. Yes, exactly, Zen. See, me and you were on the same wavelength. We're on the same frequency. That's what I keep referring to. It's Kamakura Island. That's the island where Brooke spent his time skip on. If you read the official translations, the official, not the fan translations, I'm not going to name them. If you read the official translations, there's no running away from it. They explicitly said black magic. They explicitly said Satan. They explicitly said rituals. They explicitly said sacrifices. And it's so one-to-one. It's such a great parallel to the Gorosei. And I pulled this up last stream. If you look, again, Kamakura Island, where Brooke spent his time skip. If you look at that big square with the circle and the star that's on the ground where Brooke was in the center, that is the exact same symbol that's plastered all over the walls of the Room of Authority where the Gorosei meet. It is one-to-one. And again, look at how the Gorosei appeared in Egghead. A magic circle. A star. It's the same exact thing. So, to me, it seems 99% certain that the Gorosei get their powers and their forms and whatever through black magic and sacrifices. We figured it out. Now we can skip the rest of the story. Chad be cooking. There's a problem with the poll. It only goes down to 7. All right. Well, if you think it's worse than 7, then just rate it 7. Yeah, I can only do 5 options. So cut them pentagram slingers or cuff them pentagram slingers. Goldberg / Yellow Brick Road / Road. I see the Wizard of Oz theme. I also the poppy field outside Emerald City makes people fall asleep like absinthe and sleeping bell around Elbaf. Yeah, exactly. Will of Dreams, shout out to you. And shout out to Johan. Johan for many months now has been talking about the parallels between the Elbaf arc and Wizard of Oz. Johan has been all over that. So shout out to Will of Dreams. Shout out to Johan. Johan also said, don't forget that the Wizard of Oz song. See, what did I just say? What did I just say, Will of Dreams? Johan says, don't forget that the Wizard of Oz song is Over the Rainbow and that there are giants. What is the name of a certain giant Oz? Oars. Is that what you're saying? We got Young Smokey. We got Big Smokey. What's good, bro? Smokey said, I agree. Oda's introducing a lot of fables in Elbaf. Exactly. Smokey, I don't know if you just jumped in, but we just went on a whole rant about the Sunstone. Too long didn't read, too long didn't listen. Basically, Sunstone is going to be the opposite of Seastone. Sunstone is going to amplify Devil Fruit users, whereas Seastone nullifies and oppresses Devil Fruit users. And moreover, we believe, largely us in the chat, we believe that the Seastone oppresses Devil Fruit users, but now this new thing called the Sunstone is going to oppress the Gorosei. Yeah, the Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland vibes are real. Yeah, we were I even mentioned that, not to this level. Shout out to Jordan, Johan, Will of Dreams. Shout out to them. But I did say, on just kind of like a vague general basis, at the very beginning, bro, way back, chapters ago, I was saying that this arc is going to have a lot of parallels with Whole Cake Island because of the fantasy, novel, fiction kind of vibes. Look at Whole Cake Island with the dancing food, the dancing trees. It's gonna give this Alice in Wonderland fiction, fantasy, fairy tale kind of vibes. So if you think about it, yes, Elbaf would take inspiration from Wizard of Oz, But then at the same time, that would mean that Wizard of Oz, or that would mean that Elbaf is going to parallel Whole Cake Island. All right, guys, let's continue. Let's continue with the spoilers. Luffy tries to lie in a very bad way. He sweats so much that Goldberg panics and stops asking, thinking that Luffy must have had a horrible experience in the underworld. Nami's group have already crossed the bridge. They are now in a forest. We see that Road is almost catching them, but suddenly he gets hit in the head by a giant tree that was cut down. We discover that it was a trap set by the Straw Hat crew to take out Road without attacking him directly. Gerd and Goldberg have crossed the bridge too and caught the others. Sanji says, all right, let's go then. I also can't wait to see this land of giants. Road says, curse you, you tiny humans. Gerd says, there he is, and look, the Straw Hat crew is with him too. Road says, this voice, Gerd Tasso. Could it be that you have come to aid yours truly? Gerd and Goldberg beat Road up with their weapons too. Gerd and Goldberg position attack is similar to Dory and Broggy's when they use Hakoku attack, but Gerd and Goldberg use normal attacks. So guys, if you remember back in Little Garden where Dory and Broggy were using the Hakoku attack, remember when they used like that big blast and it hit the I think it was a fish or a turtle or something. You guys remember that? And back in Little Garden, Dory and Broggy, they like stood side by side and they used that big blast. So I guess this chapter, Gerd and Goldberg are doing the same thing, but it's not a big blast. It's just a normal attack. It's like the same position. It's the same stance, but a regular attack. So it's not a huge, monstrous Book of Revelations type of blast. Gerd / Goldberg say, stop right there, Road, you weirdo. Road says, wah. Then Luffy and Nami's group are reunited again. Let's go. Reuniting the Straw Hats, baby. Yeah, goldfish. Shout out to Vincent and Dreams. It was a goldfish. They are now on the second level of Elbaf. So Luffy, Usopp, and Chopper run ahead to see a massive village. The Great Eric ship and Hiruden's ship are reaching to the village, sailing on the Rainbow Road. Dory and Broggy explain that Elbaf has 3 different levels. Level 1 is the underworld, level 2 is the sun world, and level 3 is heaven world. Chat, we gotta cook. What does Oda mean by this, chat? Underworld, sun world, heaven world. Is Oda implying that in the world of One Piece, in their universe, there's deeper implications where there's a heavens? I know we have Skypiea. Johan shouted it out. Skypiea, I get the whole heavens thing. But is there a deeper implication? Does the One Piece universe have a heaven? All of them are now in the sun world, which has many villages, and it's too vast that make it impossible to see the entire, I guess, village. The village they are approaching is the village of Dory and Broggy. We got G with the 12 months. G, a whole year. You probably had subscriptions on the old channel as well, or memberships. Guys, can we get a WG in chat for being such a long-standing supporter, being one of the Yonko of the stream? I guess a Yonko, Gorosei, whatever. G, thank you so much. You're always supporting. You've been supporting for so long. You're always coming through with the memberships. You're coming through with the gifted. Thank you so much, G. I greatly appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving to you, bro. Thank you for the years of entertainment, homie. No problem, bro. I'm glad to do this. You know, I try to be as genuine and authentic as I can with the content. You know, I apologize, guys. You guys want the videos. I just don't want to force content. I hope you understand. I just don't want to force a theory and be like, here's content. Enjoy. Like, I want to be proud of what I make. So thank you guys for being patient with me. I'm just, what you guys see is what you get. I'm completely authentic. G, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it so much, bro. And we got Young Smokey with the hundo. Young Smokey with the hundo, chat. Young Smokey with the hundo. Level 3 Valhalla. Level 2 Midgard, Earth. Level 1 Helheim. Helheim? Norse mythology. Young Smokey, you absolute gargantuan legend. Always coming through every stream with monstrous super chats. Smokey and G and L and everybody here, thank you so much. God bless you all. I hope Jesus Christ finds his way into your guys' heart. If he's not there already, I hope that Holy Spirit is able to enter your body. I pray to God, I pray to Jesus Christ that he's able to give you guys long, beautiful, healthy lives. I hope Jesus Christ enters your life. He gives you guys courage, bravery, mental fortitude, guidance, patience, wisdom, understanding. I wish every single person here, not only the super chats, but extra to the super chats. You guys got to know I got to be a little biased. I hope he takes care of all of you guys. I love you guys tremendously. Every single person, especially Smokey. Thank you so much. And Smokey, you've been talking about the levels of Elbaf for months now. You've been talking about Valhalla, Midgard, Helheim. You've been talking about that for so long now. So is Oda finally patting you on the back? Are you finally reaping what you sowed? Shout out to Young Smokey, guys. Shout out to Young Smokey. Shout out to G and shout out to L. Thank you so much, Smokey. Smokey said, let me see. I feel like Oda did a 1-to-1 with Norse mythology. Midgard is Earth in mythology. Valhalla, realm of gods and Valkyries and warriors who died in battle. Yeah, man. Oh, we come on. Young Smokey, I'm preaching to the choir when I say this, but we know, as I've said a million times, I'm preaching to the choir. Oda has built up Elbaf for so long. We had Little Garden. We had Shanks in his constant appearances. We had Big Mom's flashback. Oda gave us so much foreknowledge that he was going to go deep into the Norse mythology. Like, think back to Big Mom's flashback. What was that? Chapter 866? 865, 866, 867? We saw the architecture of Elbaf. We saw how they had Norse architecture. We saw the architecture. Is it architecture? The ship making for the Norse ships, the Elbaf ships. We see Shanks' ship built off Norse mythology. We even saw the giants and we saw the people of Elbaf through Big Mom's flashback. You know, so for sure this arc, the Elbaf arc, Oda's going to use tons and tons of Norse mythology. He's going to make it so similar, which is great for us. It's great, guys. It's great when, and Young Smokey is so true when he's so right when he says this. Oda making the Elbaf arc 1-to-1 with Norse mythology, that actually makes it easier for us to make theories, guys.
Let him cook.
It makes it easier to make theories because if Oda is pulling from an inspiration, and we know what the inspiration is, being it Norse mythology, and he's making it 1-to-1, it's one way in Norse mythology and it's the exact same way in One Piece, we could then foresee what else he's going to put into the story because we know what the source is. The source is Norse mythology. So if we're looking through Norse mythology and we see things in it that are important and notable and prevalent in their culture and it doesn't exist in One Piece yet, we can then make a theory and say, look, there's this one thing in Norse mythology that's going to be in One Piece because we see all these other things in One Piece that comes from Norse mythology. So again, by it being a 1-to-1 kind of translation, it makes it easier to make theories. In chat, another hundo. Another hundo. Chat, I need everyone to stop what they're doing, drop a like on the stream, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and more importantly, let's get a W, Young Smokey, a one Wokey in chat, man. Let's get a Wokey in the chat. Back to back $100 super chats. Thank you so much, Young Smokey. God bless you, bro. Thank you beyond words. He says, speaking of Big Mom's flashback, 99% 99% certain it happened in Elbaf level 2. That's interesting because you're actually, you have ground to stand on, because they literally just said in the spoilers that the village that Dory and Bragi are from is from level 2, and we know that during Big Mom's flashback, she was in a village with giants, right? So wouldn't that insinuate that her flashback took place on level 2? So it's not necessarily confirmed, which makes sense because you said 99% certain, right? It's not necessarily confirmed. It's only a theory, but it's a very likely theory based on the spoilers. If the spoilers are true, if the spoilers are accurate, then young Smokey is correct. It says, then Luffy and Nami's group are reunited again. They are now on the second level of Elbaf. Okay, they're on the second level. So Luffy and Usopp and Chopper run ahead to see a massive village. But wait a second, they're on the second level. So then that means the second level of the tree is villages. Okay. It says all of them are now in the Sun World. Okay, so the Sun World is filled with villages, which has many villages, and it's too vast, and it makes it impossible to see the entire village, the entire world. The village they are approaching is a village of Dory and Bragi. So now, chat, if we revisit Big Mom's flashback, we can see that it was a village for giants, right? It was a village for giants. Wouldn't that necessarily mean that Big Mom's flashback took place on level 2? Shout out to young Smokey, guys. L says, my weak $2 between Smokey's 200. Listen, we don't gotta get competitive. We don't gotta compare. The fact that you're super chatting at all, guys, the fact that anyone even super chats to begin with is just beyond amazing to me, because you guys are human and I'm human. You guys have lives, I have lives. You guys are hungry, I'm hungry. You guys need a drink, I need a drink. You guys bleed, I bleed. Right? The fact that people are willing to support me with super chats already says so much. So L, I get the joke. I get the joke, because this man Smokey is just dropping nukes. He's just raining nukes here. But either way, thank you so much, L. I wanted to, guys, I want to pull up Big Mom's flashback, okay? Big Mom's flashback. Okay, obviously she was on Elbaf, if you guys follow along, right? And look, Warland, Elbaf, New World. We see villages there, and we see giants there. Isn't she just in level 2? Isn't she just on level 2 of Elbaf? Look at the villages. And not only are there villages, but there's giants here. Look. Ja Rule, the rapper, and Joe Rule. So this must have taken place in the Sun World of the Elbaf tree. Shout out to young Smokey.
Let him cook. Let him cook now.
Interesting. Good observation, Smokey. Smokey says, by the way, Evil, you're welcome, brother. Wishing you nothing but love and good vibes. I can't wait to see where this channel and the story goes. I'm excited too, man. I can't wait to see where One Piece goes. You know, when we got into Egghead, we didn't think, yeah, we're gonna see the Gorsei, we're gonna see their monster forms, we're gonna get all that info. Saturn's gonna die, he's gonna be replaced by Garling. We didn't think that was gonna happen. When we were in the beginning of Wano, we didn't think, oh yeah, Luffy's gonna use Nika, and he's gonna be Sun God Nika, and he's Joy Boy, and he has a power of imagination, and Kaido and Big Mom get taken out, thrown in a volcano that erupts. We didn't think that was gonna happen. Now that we're entering what I would argue, now that we're entering the most long-awaited arc ever, I don't think there's a single arc in One Piece that's more awaited than Elbaf besides Laugh Tale. We're not going to count that. Laugh Tale obviously is the most awaited arc, aside from Laugh Tale. Elbaf is the most awaited arc, more than Wano. Because Elbaf was referenced in Little Garden, whereas Wano was referenced in Thriller Bark. So, and plus the constant reminder that we had of Elbaf through people like Usopp and Luffy. So, if we're constantly being built up towards Elbaf, think about what we believe in the story, guys. But think about what we believe right now in the story, guys. Remember this. This is a good mental exercise. What do you think about Luffy? What do you think about Zoro, Sanji, the Stride Crew? What do you think about Devil Fruits? What do you think about Emu, the Gorosei, the Void Sentry, Joy Boy, Nika? What are your beliefs right now? What do they look like? Let's compare what they look like now to the end of Elbaf, or even the climax of Elbaf. Who knows what this arc is going to have, dude? This arc is probably going to surpass what we think it's going to have. We could probably think like, oh yeah, maybe this arc, Oda's going to show us Emu's devil fruit if he has one. He's going to show us Emu's black magic power, his monster form. Whole time we get through Elbaf and Oda actually shows Emu's face. So I think it's always fun, you know? It's fun, at least to me, when you compare your initial knowledge, you know, the original knowledge you had in the arc, compare that to the end of the arc. It's always a fun exercise. Was good, Amuni. Glad to see you, bro. Was there a coast and such in the Big Mom flashback? Was there? I think that's when she first arrived. I think it's when she first arrived. Yeah, it's when she first arrived. You look, when she first arrived, you only see rocks. It's literally just rocks. It's just rocks and mountains, boulders. See? Look, it's just boulders and rocks. So perhaps the only reason that she's now with grass and trees and villages is because she went up to level 2. Do you mean a face reveal or show up? Wait, what did Smokey say? Here's the question of the day, chat. Do you guys think we'll see Emu at the end of Elbaf? Okay, let me ask the chat. I'll ask the chat. Chat, you guys know what we do. Whenever I ask questions, you guys know what we do. 1 in chat for yes. 2 in chat for no. Now listen to the question. Do you believe by the end of Elbaf arc, we will see what Emu's face looks like? Do you believe by the end of the arc, that last final chapter, do you believe by the end of the arc that we will see Emu's face? Let me get some answers. No? And if you say no, tell me why. If you say yes, tell me why. I want to say yes, but I have to temper my expectations. I do not believe we get a face reveal for Emu here. Yes, foreshadowing the Witch of Oz. Looks like Emu. Flashback, like I answered yes. Is it YS for yes? We might meet a survivor that was there when Big Mom went cannibalistic. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Usopp will have to find the gold stone like in the tale of Jack and the Beanstalk. See, bro, I'm going to be honest, Johan. I'm going to be honest. I don't really know about Jack and the Beanstalk. All I know is there's that ugly giant guy. I think he had like a unibrow or something and he climbed a beanstalk. I don't know anything else about it. So when you talk about a gold stone, I have no clue what you're talking about. So you got to enlighten me. No, we'll see later. I think Elbaf will reveal man marked by flames. Emu gonna be a baddie, but she has sapphire scale disease. I love Simon, I don't agree that Emu will be a woman or a baddie, but I do agree Emu will have the sapphire scale disease, so we have some common ground. Emu having the sapphire scale disease is so beyond poetic. Okay, so I say no because Oda loves to hide these things till there's a really good reason, or he's going to bring them into the story within the next few arcs. Still feels early for an Emu reveal. See, I like your response. Because you backed up your opinion. Good response. Leon says, maybe like Kaido was spoiled before Wano. Goldstone would be the equivalent of golden eggs. Wait, but what's golden eggs though? Jordan says no, because I feel like we will see Emu's face revealed through someone's point of view. I don't think we'll get a point of view set up at the end of Elbaf sometime after, though. G said he could introduce a dang good reason, though. Yeah, so, you know, guys, I can't... I know, Chad, I shouldn't be a fence sitter. Yeah, you can't be lukewarm. You're either hot or you're cold. But honestly, when it comes to Emu's face by the end of the arc, I can't really put an answer on that. I can't. I mean, to those of you that would say that it's too early, I would simply say, who are you to say that it's too early, you know? Because let's say right now, chat, in this chapter, 1132, let's say hypothetically, Emu's face is shown. What does that change about the story? What is that? I want you guys, if you're very like set in stone about this, I want you guys to answer the question. If we were shown Emu's face right now, what does that change about the story? It doesn't change much. It ends, I guess, in a way, it ends the hype of what Emu looks like, but what does it really change? You know, so I think like we have to consider that, you know? But at the same time, I'm not saying, okay, show Emu's face immediately. I don't really know. I'm in the middle, you know? But I do want to give that perspective, you know? G said, nah, bro, sit on that fence. I'm not saying it's too early, but what I'm saying is it feels too early to show it here. Like, there doesn't seem to be a good reason to show it now. Yeah, so that's why it's a tricky thing, because there's no real reason. But, like, at the same time, think about it this way, G. What would be a good reason to show Emu's face? Besides, like, what? Like a Void Century flashback? Okay, then fine, I'll concede with that one. If Oda was giving us a Void Century flashback, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to show Emu's face. But aside from that, like, what else then? You know? I think one of the biggest advocates for why Oda would show us Emu's face is exactly what Leon just said. Oda showing us Emu's face hypes us up for that battle. It's going to build intensity, you know? Because we can actually put a face to who that is that's going to be the final boss. Smokey said, hypothetically, if Emu was a special race or has sapphire scales, it would change how we view Emu, but the story, I don't have a good answer for you. Yeah. It's tricky, man. I don't know. Young Smokey, you know, I appreciate your response. You too, Jordan and G. I appreciate the responses. I can't critique anyone saying yes or no. All I can do is offer perspectives, you know? See, I like to hear why people believe things. Like, if you believe something, I want to hear you explain to me why. Why do you believe A equals X? L with the 5, thank you, King. L says, we might see his face because of the anger and hatred he's building up towards Luffy. Exactly. That's another reason I didn't... L, take my word. I'm not lying. I wouldn't lie about something so silly. That's exactly what I was thinking throughout this conversation. Oda can easily have a moment where Emu is furious about the current world events, angry about Nika and what he's doing, angry about Luffy, angry about Dragon. Oda can easily have a moment where Emu's furious about what's going on. So Oda's like, okay, let me have Emu's face revealed through him looking really angry. Like, for some reason, just my intuition, guys, you don't have to agree. This is just my own opinion. You could disagree if you want. But every time I've thought about Oda revealing Emu's face, for some reason, my intuition makes me think that Oda will do it in the context of Emu being angry. Do you guys feel that way too? Do you guys feel that way? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Don't you feel like, regardless of how Oda shows Emu, whether it's a Void Century flashback or he fights Luffy, whatever the context is, don't you feel like the very first panel Oda shows of Emu is like Emu gritting his teeth? He's like gritting his teeth. He's sweating bullets. He's angry. I've always like had that intuition, you know? I want to know if you guys have that intuition as well. But let's continue the super chat. Again, L, thank you. We might see his face because of the anger and hatred he's building up towards Luffy, foiling his plans yet again. Because I think the Holy Knights will fail. Yeah, they're going to fail. The Holy Knights will fail because the world government's gonna fail, right? So by extension, the the Holy Knights fail. I might be misunderstanding you, Al. So correct me if I'm misunderstanding you, but I do really like the idea that the Holy Knights arrive at Elbaf to kind of parallel the Gorosei arriving at Aked, but moreover, the Holy Knights arriving on Elbaf to then fight, we'll just say, the Alliance. It would help build the final war, because think about you, we always have to take a step back, guys. We have to take a step back. It's good for us to pull out the, listen, I'm gonna go full screen. Okay? Who's ready for One Piece theory lessons? One Piece theory lessons. Are you guys ready? Young Smokey, thank you for the 50. I promise I'll get back to it. Who's ready for One Piece theory lessons? Are you guys ready to get some lessons? Do you want to make theories better? Do you want to have a better gauging and make accurate theories that come true? Do you guys want to make a list of all the theories that were correct? Do you guys want to be accurate? Listen, need you guys to pay attention. For those of you that care about theories and care about theory crafting, listen, this is from my own experience. I'm giving you one of the most important things that a One Piece theorist should know and abide by. Listen. We cannot live by the magnifying glass. Living by the magnifying glass means we're looking at the finer details of the story. We're looking at things in a specific context. We're getting locked in place and we're thinking like, well, Imu's face reveal, what does that look like? What's the context? What does that mean in that specific moment? Or let me give a better example. We're looking at Egghead and we're looking at the Gorosei are appearing and they're doing this on Egghead and they have the monster forms. At some point, chat, you have to take a step back. And I feel like a lot of people forget this. They get too locked in with the magnifying glass. They're sitting there with the magnifying glass, thinking about how the Gorosei are at Aked for so they're using the magnifying glass for such a long period of time that they don't move the magnifying glass and take a step back and look at the bigger picture. So why am I saying this? This will help you properly gauge theories. This is one of the most important things that you can do. You have to be able to decipher when you use magnifying glass versus when you take a step back and you look at the bigger picture. So in the context of this, when we look at the Gorosei appearing on Elbaf, or Aked, sorry, when we look at the Gorosei appearing on Aked, yes, the context is Aked. Yes, the context is Vegapunk. Yes, the context is that they're using the monster forms, but look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that Oda is building up the Gorosei for the final war. So now when you look at it from the bigger picture, you can make a better gauge, you can better gauge the Holy Knights, which wouldn't it make sense, chat, that Oda would use the Holy Knights in Elbaf? Because someone's going to argue against you and they're going to be like, no, why would the Holy Knights appear in Elbaf? The Gorosei appearing in Aked, that's for context. It's strictly based on context. But look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that Oda's building up the biggest antagonists. He's building up the bosses. He's putting the pieces on the chessboard. That's the bigger picture of why the Gorosei went to Egghead. You can't just only think like, oh, well, didn't they want to kill Vegapunk? Weren't they trying to stop Luffy and Nika? Look at the bigger picture. So that's an important lesson. I hope you guys were paying attention. I hope you guys learned. All of us fall for this. I fall for this sometimes. I get too locked in. I'm stuck with that magnifying glass. Sometimes you have to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. And if you guys live by this and you guys abide by this, you guys will make such great theories. Your guys' accuracy will increase. Okay? Now, Young Smokey with the 50 bomb. This man dropped a hundo, 50 bomb. Shout out to the boy, Young Smokey. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you tremendously. W Young Smokey, guys. I agree, no matter how it plays out, it will be Emu reacting to news or a person in anger. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's just my intuition, bro. And I'm glad you share that intuition, Young Smokey, because we got to be onto something. Regardless of its Emu going against Dragon, regardless of its Avoid Century flashback, regardless if it's something with the poneglyphs, regardless of the context of it being with something with Joy Boy, the reveal of Emu That very first panel is probably going to be him gritting his teeth, angry, sweating bullets. Because this entire story of One Piece has largely been Emu calm. Emu called for a genocide of Lulusia, very similar to the Palestinian genocide. It is the same thing, right? Emu was on his Netanyahu type beat. Look at God Valley, another genocide, right? He was literally on his Netanyahu type beat. And he was calm. Emu was calm. Yeah, just go ahead. Try out the ancient weapon. You could do it, let's just go to Lucia. It was like he was trying to decide what he was having for dinner. Yeah, just I don't know, bro. Just go hit Lelucia. And the Gorsei are looking at Emu like, bro, you're aware we're gonna kill people, right? Are you aware that us using Mother Flame, us using the ancient weapon is gonna eradicate people of Lelucia? Emu just didn't care. I don't care, dude. It's the closest island. Just hit Lelucia. If Emu has that kind of attitude throughout the story, has that kind of attitude towards genocide, it makes a lot of sense that Emu's first reveal is going to actually be him out of character, him completely aggressive, angry, furious, you know? Hamaji with the 2, thank you so much, bro. Late gang, but still here. Hey, better late than never, Hamaji. Thank you so much, bro. How you doing, Hamaji? How you doing, bro? Is that an Odin profile picture? Is that Odin or I can't tell. Let me zoom in. Oh, I don't even think that's One Piece. What is that profile picture? Looks like the kid from Demon Slayer. No, it's me. Oh, it's you. Do you think Loki has the nuke fruit? I mean, guys, we're gonna get back on topic with the spoilers in a second. This will be the last question, then we'll go back to the spoilers. I do think that a nuclear devil fruit would be completely OP. A nuclear no me would be completely broken. That would be the strongest. It would probably be the strongest fruit in the entire story. Think about it. Nuclear no me. That is completely broken. Because what's the awakening? Literally making a nuke? And even on a smaller scale, it'd be OP. I don't know if Emu has that, or I highly doubt Loki has that fruit. I think Loki wouldn't get something that insane. I think if there was a character with the nuke no me, it would have to be like Emu. It would have to be someone of like God tier, you know? But he's one of God's chosen people. Why would he even care? Chosen people. I'm not gonna let you beat me. I'm not gonna let you beat me. Close. 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 I'm not gonna let you beat me, Simon. Because if I let you beat me, I will go on a whole 1 hour long, 2 hour long rant. I'm not biting the bait. I'm a good boy today. I'm a good boy, chat. A lot of devil fruits would be broken in the hands of a giant. Yeah, bro. So here's the thing though, Smokey. I'm not saying you're not saying this, but we know that Loki has a devil fruit. This dude is a giant with a devil fruit. This man's completely overpowered. I'm just curious as to what his fruit is. Chat, what do you guys think Loki's devil fruit is? Where is the masturbator? L, where are you at? Rope him in. No, L, don't do it. L, please. I beg of you, brother. Do not bait me into a rant. We were actually doing good today. We've been staying on topic. Loki has the sun fruit, a better version of explosion fruit. Oda kind of nerfed Dorian Broggy in Little Garden versus Mr. 3. Yeah, yeah, kinda. Yeah. Because, I mean, they were giants, right? Shouldn't they just have crushed him instantly? But then, you know, like, he used his wax. Weren't they distracted? I think Dorian... Wasn't the context that they were distracted? And then Mr. 3 got them with the wax? Or were they sleeping? I forgot what it was. But yeah, I guess that was a nerf. That was like plot. Plasma no Mi. Yeah, that'd be completely overpowered. Jordan, that would be one of the sickest, coolest devil fruits. But I feel like Oda would have to use that fruit carefully. Whoever's gonna get the plasma no Mi, it has to be someone of the highest echelon, you know? Mr. 3 pulled a sneak attack. Yeah, he pulled the sneak attack, man. Plasma would be stronger version of NL's fruit. So plasma, chat, would a plasma no Mi be a Logia? Because plasma is organic, right? Plasma is like organic material, right? So if you had the plasma no Mi, then that'd be a Logia. It wouldn't be a Paramecia, right? Dude, that would be completely broken, man. All right, guys, let's continue with the spoilers. All of them are now in the Sun World, which has many villages, and it's too vast to make it impossible, or that make it impossible to see it entirely. The village they are approaching is the village of Dori and Bragi. In a wonderful double leg spread, we have the reveal of Dori and Bragi's village. Again, bro, man, Redon. Is Redon aware of the irony? Is Redon like aware that we're always talking about his double leg spreads? In a wonderful double leg spread, we have the reveal of Dori and Bragi's village. The village seems to be built on tree branches in the air with many island clouds nearby. Houses are the same way we saw in other giant villages, and there is a castle too, similar to the one that Road built in his Lego diorama. The giants say, "Welcome to Elbaf." Luffy says, "Whoa." Luffy and Usopp are extremely touched seeing the village. Usopp is crying with joy. We see a little flashback of Luffy and Usopp talking about Elbaf at the end of Little Garden. Oh, that's beautiful, man. Chat. We're gonna cry reading this. We see a little flashback of Luffy and Usopp talking about Elbaf at the end of Little Garden. Chapter 129. 1,000 chapters ago? 1,000 chapters ago. And we got L with the 5 gifted memberships. Can we get a WL, bro? Shout out to Mindhacks, shout out to Cosmos, shout out to Pokemon Red, shout out to Alejandro and Noob to God. They just got gifted memberships by the one and only L, bro. Thank you so much for the gifted, dude. Thank you, bro. Mindhacks, Cosmos, Pokemon Red, Alejandro, Noob to God. I hope you guys appreciate the memberships. Go thank L for it right now. Go thank him. You guys now have access to some emojis. You guys can now drop the legendary W emoji. The golden W. Loki's Devil Fruit, Mythical Zoan, Searcher, Yomungander, Fenris, Needhogger, Baldur, God of Light, Paramecia, Rune Fruit, makes magical symbols that like Miss Golden Week on things, but with his eyes. Yeah, shout out to King J. I really like the idea that Loki has the Jormungandr Devil Fruit. I think that Devil Fruit for Loki is that's just 1,000 IQ. You know, and if you guys haven't heard the explanation before, Loki having the Jormungandr Devil Fruit makes him the world serpent. It makes him the serpent covered in blood, which not only fits more Norse mythology, but it would also be a callback to Little Garden when Dori and Bragi said they couldn't defeat or take out the blood covered snake, the world serpent. So that would directly relate to Loki, and it makes sense because we know that Loki was only restrained through the union of all of the giants on Elbaf. The way you pronounce that, yeah, I had to pronounce that very carefully. I didn't want to say something that somebody could clip. Then what would his hybrid form look like if he was Jormungandr? I don't know, man. Maybe a snake with arms and legs? Or maybe just like a human body. Yeah, he's a giant, but like a human body with like the skull of a snake. I don't know. Young Smokey. Young Smokey. One Gwoki. Let me get this straight, Young Smokey. You drop 100. Then you turn around and you drop another 100. Then you turn around and drop a 50. Then you turn around and drop another 50. Young Smokey with $300 of super chatting. Guys, I need everyone to stop what they're doing. This man, Young Smokey, is just... See, this is why Young Smokey... Like, don't get me wrong, we have legends in the stream, and we can't take anything away from them. LG, Oakley, we have legends, right? But this... And Tachi... But this man, Young Smokey, he's just trying to... He said, bro, I'm trying to make my own kingdom in this community. Jormungandr, World Serpent, is Loki's child in Norse mythology, along with Fenrir, the wolf, and Hela, goddess of hell. See, Young Smokey, I don't think that Loki in One Piece will have a child. So I think Oda's going to do a little remix, and he's going to give the One Piece Loki the Jormungandr devil fruit. So he's staying true to Norse mythology, because if he didn't want to give the One Piece character Loki a child, he would have to look at Norse mythology and be like, but wait, Jormungandr, World Serpent, is Loki's child. So if I'm not going to give Loki in One Piece a child, let me just give him the Jormungandr devil fruit. And again, this connects to Little Garden, back to when Dory and Broggy literally said that they couldn't take out the World Serpent, the serpent covered in blood. Shout out to Young Smokey, man. You are an absolute legend, dude. Thank you. You're just insane, my guy. You're just out of this world, One Gwoki. Young Smokey says, I agree the World Serpent fruit fits. Man, it will, bro. Young Smokey, when we see Loki's devil fruit in the info box and it says Jormungandr, me, you, and King J, we're going to stand. We're going to stand and we're going to be united, undertaking a huge W. Me, you, and definitely King J. Because King J, I don't know if you were there that stream, you might have been, but King J laid it all out, bro. He laid it all out. He was like, look, he's going to be Jormungandr. This is Jormungandr in Norse mythology. Look at Little Garden and what it says about the World Serpent, the serpent covered in blood. He laid it all out. So... And then you got to think Loki is trying to be the sun god. So him having the Jormungandr fruit would make him a snake, a serpent, because Jormungandr is a serpent. It's a snake. Then we think back to Skypiea. They worship the snake as the sun god. So again, if Loki had the devil fruit of Jormungandr, a snake, he would then be a parallel to Skypiea's Kashigami, because both of them would be a snake that is perceived as a sun god. Mills, what's good, King? What's good, bro? Emu has the eraser fruit. She's literally the Gomu Gomu no Mi, or Gomu Gomu no Mi. That's why Oda said Luffy would be the Hito no Mi. Yeah, I also know what you're talking about. There was this one manga that Oda did before he made One Piece, where a character had like the power of a pencil or a pen and was able to draw things, and then the other one had the power of an eraser. I forgot what the manga is. Someone in chat probably knows. I read through it. I read it. And I got huge One Piece vibes. So the idea that Emu has an erase fruit to combat and be the antithesis to Luffy's imagination, that makes sense, you know? Loki will be a walking red line with the Jormungandr fruit. And that's actually funny to think about. But Smokey, since we agree on Loki being or having the Jormungandr devil fruit, how do you think Oda is gonna portray Fenrir and Hela, goddess of... Is the name Hela? Is that her name? How do you think Oda's gonna portray them? Do you think like Loki is gonna have two subordinates, and one subordinate is Fenrir, the other one is the goddess of hell? So Loki would have the devil fruit of Jormungandr. Then Loki has two subordinates. One subordinate has the Fenrir devil fruit. The other subordinate has the Hela goddess devil fruit. Young Smokey, you just don't stop. You are the general. You are the three-eyed tribe general. You're still going, dude. 100, 150, 50, 20. Young Smokey, man. Thank you, dude. I don't know how Oda will make this fit, but also in Norse mythology, Fenrir the wolf ultimately kills Odin, chief of the Norse gods. Just keep this in mind. I don't know how it fits. So my question, again, Young Smokey, thank you so much, my guy, bro. My brother in Christ, thank you. My question, Young Smokey, is who in One Piece plays the Norse mythology role of Odin? I'm not talking about Odin from Wano. I'm talking about Odin from Norse mythology. Because if Loki in One Piece plays the role of Loki in Norse mythology, he could also play the role of Odin. So the One Piece Loki could be a mix of Odin and Loki from Norse mythology. Because we've seen Oda do that before, where like Luffy is a mix of Jesus and Hanumanji. Emu will be a mix of uh um what's the name? Umibozu, the Japanese yokai, the Umibozu, the water spirit. Emu would be a mix of Umibozu and Satan from Christian mythology. We see Oda add like a mix of inspiration to these characters. So yeah, if Oda needs to add an Odin inspiration to One Piece, he could probably do it through Loki. Young Smokey says Hyruden. That's an interesting one. Hyruden. So Hyruden in One Piece would take the inspiration of Odin from Norse mythology. So you think Hyruden will die then? Hyruden dies? Mills, God bless you, bro. May the Lord be with you and guide you in all your ways. L with the 2, thank you, bro. Fundraising the streams. 07 Smokey. Yo, salute the Smokey, guys. Can we get an 07? Everyone that's watching the stream, I want you to drop a salute in chat. I want to see some salutes for Smokey, some salutes for L, a big salute for Smokey, and make sure you guys like the stream. If you're new here, subscribe. If you're not new here, hit the notification bell so you never miss the streams. So you guys never miss. What's going on, Artie? So you guys never miss the spoiler short summary streams, the long summary streams, the chapter reactions. Maybe we could get back into the anime when it returns. Loki and Odin are brothers in Norse mythology. Marvel made it Thor and Loki. Yeah, so I don't think, this is just my own opinion and I could be wrong, but I don't think Oda is gonna give Loki in One Piece a brother or children. I think it's just gonna be Loki like on his own kind of thing. So then Oda could throw Odin into Loki, or as Smokey said, throw Odin into Hyruden or Dory and Bragi. Mill says, thank you, bro. Same to you. Always have positivity in here. Hey, Christ is the center. I center my life around Christ. I'm reading the word every day. Where is it? I'm reading the scripture every day. May the Lord bless me. May the Lord save me from error. May the Lord give me the truth. I finished the New Testament. The Gospels are amazing. Romans is possibly the greatest book in the New Testament. Saint Paul, or some people would call him Apostle Paul, is beyond amazing. He is a huge inspiration to me. Not as much as Jesus, obviously, but Paul is an absolute legend. Saint Peter, God bless him, he's an absolute legend. Shout out to the New Testament, man. The New Testament, chat. Read through the New Testament. It is nothing but true theology. It's nothing but love. It's nothing but truth. This will give you courage. This will give you bravery. This will give you the answers to life. All of these Western societies, they were built on this. Shout out to the New Testament. But Young Smokey again. He really just doesn't stop. Another 20. Thank you so much, bro. I believe Hyruden may take the throne of end of Elbath, and Hyruden dies in the final war, and Loki takes the throne, a changed man by Luffy. I love that. I love that, because then you have an emotional moment where a bond servant of Luffy, that being Hyruden, would die for Luffy, and he would claim the throne of Elbath, right? Then he's replaced, because of his death, he's replaced by Loki, who is a changed man. That is consistent with One Piece. That is consistent. Shout out to Young Smokey. I like that. Hiruden dying. Because you know, one thing that that just popped in my mind, Smokey, is if we say that like no, Dorian Bragi or Oisho and Kami, one of them die or one of them take the throne, that feels a little awkward because they come in pairs, right? Oisho and Kami is one pair, Dory and Bragi is another pair. So wouldn't it be kind of awkward if Dory became the temporary king and died, or like Oisho became the temporary king and died? It feels a little awkward because they come in pairs. But Hiruden is mostly on his own. Also, chat, can you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Hiruden the leader of the new giant pirates in the Straw Hat fleet? Isn't he the leader? So that like singles him out. He's like kind of like one entity, right? So him claiming the throne, that makes sense. And then he would die for Luffy because he's a bond servant of the Straw Hat pirates. He's in the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. Then he's replaced by Loki, a changed man. That's actually a beautiful take, Young Smokey. That is a beautiful take. Vincent confirmed it and Mills confirmed it. They said, yes, he's the captain. Yeah, so he's a standalone. Hiruden is a standalone. Whereas Dory and Bragi, yes, they are important, but they come in pairs. So why would Oda be like, yeah, Dory's going to become the king, not Bragi. Or Bragi's going to become the king, not Dory. Or Oisho's going to become the king, not Kashi, or Kashi's gonna become the king, not Oimo. It seems awkward, but again, Hiruden is a standalone, him being the leader of the giant crew for the Straw Hats. That's a great take. Shout out to Young Smokey, and thank you tremendously for the many super chats, the big nukes, bro. Thank you, Young Smokey. And he just said himself, Hiruden is the captain of the new giant pirates. Yeah, so that fits perfectly because they're gonna need a king, right? Didn't Loki kill the king? Loki killed the king. Loki killed the king. He killed the king, and Loki was the prince. I don't think Road is gonna be the new king. I don't think Loki's gonna be the new king right away. Loki has to go through a transformation. So put Hiruden as the king. He'll die for the Straw Hats, die for Luffy, and then he could be replaced by Loki, a changed man. Do you like load, tape, or fade? I usually, dude, Smokey, another one. Hold on. I usually I get a high fade. Just a little scissor trim at the top. That's just what I go for. Chat, are we looking sharp, chat? We looking good, chat? We looking sharp? I just get a high fade. Let it blend into the beard. That's what I go for. My barber, like I went to him so many times. I got a specific barber because every time, bro, I try to go to a different guy. They don't do it like my barber. So I went to him today. I got to him. I went to the barber shop. He got me right. He got your boy right, chat, because we were looking rough. You guys saw me in the short summary stream, chat. We were looking rough, bro. So shout out to my barber. He got me right. Young Smokey with the 20. How many super chats? 100, 50, 50, 20, 20, 20. Young Smokey, God bless you, bro. Truly, I say to you that I cannot thank you enough, Young Smokey. Thank you so much, man. May God bless you. May he return to you your generosity and your love and your support. Thank you, bro. He said, also looking through the chapter, did Luffy actually make a promise to Loki? Did he actually get tricked? So see, that right there, Smokey, is a little bit hazy because we saw that the promise that Loki offered to Luffy was that, hey, Luffy, you free me, you save me from the imprisonment, you take the chains off of me, and I'll fulfill my side of the covenant by then fighting for you on your behalf. You give me a name and I'll go fight for you on their behalf. But doesn't it seem a little unclear if Luffy accepted the promise or the agreement? Chat, can you guys confirm? Is it or is it not unconfirmed that Luffy accepted it or not? Can someone clarify? Did Luffy accept the promise? Yes or no? The promise that if Luffy frees Loki, Loki will then go fight on Luffy's behalf. Because my thing is like, wait, if Luffy accepted, why is Loki still down there? You guys get what I'm saying? If Luffy accepted the covenant, if he accepted the promise, why is Loki still down there then? So did he deny the agreement, or is he gonna be like, yeah, let me think about it. I'm gonna go back up. I'm gonna leave the underworld of Elbaf, and I'll come back to you when I've decided. Is that what he's doing? So it seems a little unclear. It seems kind of like Luffy's leaning towards no, because again, if he said yes, why didn't he free Loki then? Omuni says, I can see Kid taking the deal and going after Shanks. That's a great take, actually. Because, again, I don't want to repeat myself too much. I think it was right before you joined, Omuni. We were talking about how there's no chance, 0% chance Oda abandons the character of Law. That just doesn't make any sense. And if Oda doesn't abandon Law, we have to think about how Kid is a foil character. I don't want to go too deep into that. But with that being said, there is an argument to make that Kid will return to the story. So Kid could go and find Loki and be like, hey bro, I'll take that deal. You know? I'll take that deal. No, the promise was to tell him Shanks's business, not fight for him. That's not his character. No. It's two ends of the bargain. Because Loki wants to be freed, and Loki said, I will fight for you on your behalf. And then Luffy, didn't he say like, no, I want to hear about Shanks, but Loki wasn't willing to accept that? So okay, whatever. If you wanna portray it differently, then fine. Loki would tell Luffy secrets about Shanks or knowledge about Shanks if Luffy frees Loki. Fine. You want to go down that route? We'll go down that route. But you still end up at the same conclusion. Why is Loki on like ground level? Why is he in prison still? Because if he accepted the deal, why is he not leaving then? You see what I'm saying? But going back to Smokey really quick. Smokey, it seems unclear. It seems unclear whether or not Luffy accepted the deal, but I would lean towards no, given the context of the spoilers. And we got L with the 2. Thank you, brother. He said stash check. Dude, I'm telling you, I'll never understand why on that one day it was super light on one side and dark on the other. I think it was the lighting. Stash check? Hey, L, do I pass the stash check, bro? Do I pass? Do I pass? Stash check? Let me know. And then again, Young Smokey, another 20. Oh my goodness. Thank you, bro. Is it Christmas or what? Is this like a Christmas present, Young Smokey? Thank you, bro. He says, also, I got a mega theory. What if Kid washed up on Elbaf and Loki offered Kid the same deal? Yeah. That's exactly what you and who was it that said that? Amuni. Yeah, you and Amuni are on the same wavelength. What if Kid washes up on Elbaf and Loki offers the trade or the promise to Kid, the same deal, and Kid replies Shanks. And this calls Shanks back to Elbaf because he sets him free. Yeah, bro. You and Amuni. Shout out to Amuni. Shout out to Young Smokey. You guys are on the exact same wavelength. The exact same wavelength. Because that is something we have to question. That is something we have to question. We know that Kid was defeated at Elbaf, the shore of Elbaf. Well, if Kid is what's the word? If Kid's brought back into the story, wouldn't Kid be brought back in the context of Elbaf? Because Kid was defeated and he was taken out at the shore of Elbaf. So wouldn't it make a lot of sense he would wash up on the shore? Because that's what similar situation to Luffy on Wano, remember? Luffy was on the shore of Wano, there was the whole waves and the tsunami or whatever, and Luffy washed up on the shore. So if Kid is losing to Shanks, drowns, washes up on the shore of Elbaf, and Luffy seemingly did not accept the deal with Loki, then perhaps someone else will do it. And it makes a lot of sense. That's a great idea. Shout out to Smokey and shout out to Amuni. Big shout out to them. That's a great take. I can't think of any rebuttals to it. Mill said early B-Day gift. Your birthday's coming up. Yeah, I guess it is. That's actually wild. Chat, my birthday is December 15th. Okay. Maybe we could do we got to do a birthday stream this year. But Finburst, God bless you, bro. Take care, Finburst. May the Lord be with you and bless you in all your ways. Take care, brother. I'm glad to see you here, Finburst. See you again soon, bro. We'll be live again for the chapter reaction. Door Handle says, do the Jeff Hardy beard. You will rock it. The Jeff Hardy beard. What's the Jeff Hardy beard? I don't remember what his beard looks like. Jeff Hardy. All right, guys. After this, we're going back to the spoilers, okay? Wait, he doesn't even have a beard. Are you talking about this? Nah, yo, I can't do the Jeff Hardy beard. I'm pretty sure my girl would not appreciate this. To my girlfriend, baby, if you're watching the stream, can you text me right now? Should I do this beard? She's gonna text me in all caps. She's gonna be like, ew. I can't do this, bro. Or are you talking about a different beard? Talking about like this? No, you're talking about the little swoop. Dude, she's gonna text me. She's gonna be like, ew. Hell no. Yeah, you're talking about the little... I don't know if I could rock that, bro. I don't know if hey, let me actually close that, because someone's gonna join the stream later, and then I'm gonna open this browser, and they're gonna be like, hey, yo, they're gonna join the stream in like 10 minutes. I'm gonna open this up, and they're gonna be like, hey, yo, why are you looking at pictures of this guy? Let me close this, bro. I'm not gonna get fooled. I'm not gonna get clowned on. Young Smokey said, my birthday is Friday. Hey, Smokey, happy belated. Is it belated for your early birthday? Guys, can we get a happy early birthday to Young Smokey? His birthday is Friday, the 29th of this month. Young Smokey, if I'm not able to stream or see you or whatever, I hope that you have an amazing birthday, Young Smokey. God bless you, bro. I hope he blesses you with many great days, courage, bravery, strength, protection, and health. Young Smokey, I hope it's an amazing day, bro. Make sure you treat yourself, Young Smokey. Avoid all the gossip, avoid the slander, avoid the drama. Make sure Friday's for you, man, to take care of yourself, bro. Spend it with the people that make you happy, bro. Get some good food, Young Smokey. Whatever it is, Chinese food, a dinner, pizza, whatever it is, wings, a fancy dinner, whatever it is, bro. Treat yourself, Young Smokey. Thank you for all that you do for me, man. And I think, where'd it go? I think Oakley said a happy early birthday to me. Yeah, he said happy early B-Day. Hey, yo, I always knew Evil was a sussy baka. Wavebeard. Chat, she said other people... By the way, this is my girlfriend. With back to the conversation about the Ed Hardy beard. Other people gonna be staring at you so... Or other people gonna be staring at you. So hell no. And also, ugh. Chat, we can't do the Ed Hardy beard. Listen, whatever wife says, it goes, bro. You guys know, happy wife, happy life. In before, Evil, you're a simp, bro. You're a simp. Beta male evil. Beta evil. All right, guys, let's focus. Let's focus. Let's get back to the spoilers. Usopp says, you guys, someday I swear I will go to Elbaf, to the village of warriors. Luffy says, all right, Usopp, let's do it. So that's back to the flashback of chapter 129. We see too everyone's reactions when they see the village. Robin, Nami, Bonnie, Lilith are smiling with joy. Zoro, Frankie, Brook, and Jinbei are amazed. Chopper has sparkle in his eyes, and Sanji is leaning on Gerd's chest. Okay, again with this. You see why we slander Sanji in the stream? We have all the Straw Hats in awe. All the Straw Hats are in awe to the beauty, the majesty, to the divinity of Elbaf. And what is Sanji doing? Simping. He can't run... Sanji fans, just choose the winning horse. Just come to the winning team. Be a Zoro fan. Just be a Zoro fan. Please. Sanji is leaning on Gerd's chest, on her bosom. At the same time we all see this, we can read some text boxes that will continue until the end of the chapter. The first text box says, "Great size." Why, thank you, narrator. Great size brings about sensation. Hey, yo! Great size brings about sensation. No words would do this view justice. This is the King of War, or Kingdom of Warland on Elbaf Island. It is a kingdom of giants that is commonly referred to as collectively Elbaf with a PH. The great Eric ship and Hyruden ship arrives at the village on Rainbow Road, so everyone is reunited. Let's go, man, the Straw Hats. The Straw Hats reunited. Hyruden says, "Hey, Straw Hat." Frankie says, "Ah, Luffy, so you are here too. We've been looking for you." Chat. Ooh, Elbaf is kicking off. Okay, for real. Chat. For real this time. For real this time. Elbaf has officially started, okay? Everything up until now was just a precursor. It was just a little build up. We were seasoning the pot. Chat. Now we're diving into Elbaf. Now we're truly into Elbaf. We don't have to break a glass this time. They're on the tree. All the Straw Hats have reunited. Oh, is this gonna be a double page? Is this gonna be a double page of all the Straw Hats on Elbaf with Jinbei? Oh, chat. This is gonna be a heart. This is gonna be a chapter for the heart. Sometimes we get a chapter for the mind, the theory chapters, and some chapters we get a theory for the heart, our emotions. This is going to be a theory, or this is going to be a chapter for the heart. Oh, Elbaf has officially begun. They're on the tree. They're looking at Elbaf. We got the text box. All the Straw Hats are here. We're finally here. L with the tooth. Thank you, brother. He says, Sanji, the type to also shave for... Chat, do you guys agree with L's super chat? I would probably say yes. Guys, do you agree with L's super chat? 1 for yes, 2 for no. I'm going to put... can you guys vote for me? I say 1. Sanji is just... Sanji could take whatever he could get. I mean, just look at Whole Cake Island. Sanji could take whatever he can get. When it comes to women and girls, in the eyes of Sanji, anything goes. Just ask Pudding. Oh, man. Jordan says, geez Louise, pause. Sanji would be like Quagmire in that one episode if he had access to corn. Oh, man. All right, guys, let's continue. Oh, Young Smokey with the 5 says, I can't lie. I've shaved for a woman. So chat, don't lie. Pick your battles. Yo, come on, chat. Why is this the conversation? Are we really sitting here talking about, hey, man? See, this is why girls don't watch the stream. There's no way a woman would want to watch this filth, this disgusting degeneracy. Why would a woman want to watch this? It's your guys' fault. But anyways, going back to the filth. Chat, don't lie, bro. You've cleaned yourself up. You've manscaped for these women out here. Don't lie. You've done it. Don't be a liar, chat. Young Smokey, hey, I applaud the honesty. I don't know if I co-sign it. I don't know if I support the sentiment. I don't know if I support the speech. But hey, I appreciate the honesty. Yo, there's no way a woman would voluntarily watch the stream. She would have to be like locked in a basement, chained to the seat, chained to the chair. And as soon as she gets unchained, she's grabbing the mouse and she's closing the stream. Young Smokey, you're wild, man. You too, L. Both of you. Disgusting pigs. Uh, Luffy says, huh? You guys just arrived? Ah ha 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 ha. It's great that we're able to meet up. Everything turns out all right. When Luffy, Usopp, and Chopper discover that Frankie's group has been sailing in a rainbow, their faces change to sugar face. Chat, what does that mean, sugar face? When Luffy, Usopp, and... Or are they talking about Sugar's reaction where she was wiggling her tongue? Are they talking about Sugar from Dressrosa? What are they talking about? When Luffy, Usopp, and Chopper discover that Frankie's group has been sailing on a rainbow, their faces change to sugar face. What's good, Eric? Eric says, yeah. Luffy, Usopp, Chopper say, ah, are you guys riding on a rainbow right now? Let us on there too. In the last page of the chapter, text boxes continue, and we discover that it is a narration from Louis Arnault, the explorer that wrote about Little Garden and famous Bragman book. Louis Arnault says, from the grass or trees, vines to flowers, and the insects, fishes, and birds, including all the animals, one can only gasp at the sheer size of everything. Fellow explorers, the time you spent here will not be fruitless. In the last panels of the chapter, we can see the silhouette of a person who is walking in the forest. A giant grizzly bear is looking at him in the background. We can't see who that person is yet, but he has long hair and wears a Wano Kuni hat. So the straw hat thing probably is the person who is drinking with Crocus in chapter 631. Okay, leakers, these leakers need to be careful, because they've done this before. What's up, Lucas? The leakers have done this before. Guys, take this with a grain of salt. Leakers want to throw in their own opinions. Redon wants to throw in his own little theories. Guys, take it with a grain of salt. We've seen them make theories through the spoilers before, and they've been wrong. Okay, so don't jump to a conclusion and think that the guy who was sitting with Crocus is the guy walking through the forest this chapter. It could be, but don't assume it is. Louis Arnault narration concludes in the last panel of the chapter. Louis Arnault says, however, if I am to record only one thing about the mysterious land of Elbaf, the place where everything is huge, I wish for you to remember my words somewhere in the back of your mind. Do not prolong your stay in this land for too long. Explorer Louis Arnault. End of chapter. No break next week. And that's the spoilers. And that's a chapter. Guys, comment down below. What do you rate the chapter? You guys can also rate the chapter at the top of the stream chat. Make sure you guys like the stream so we can grow this community, grow the One Piece knowledge, grow the body of Christ at the same time. Like the stream. Subscribe if you're new. And if you haven't already, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the short summary streams, long summary streams, and chapter reactions. If you're new here, I go live within 20 minutes of the spoilers, short summary spoilers. I go live within 20 minutes of the long summary spoilers. I go live within 20 minutes of the chapter. As long as there's no hiccups, we go live instantly. Young Smokey with another 10 though. Thank you so much, Smokey. He says, not gonna lie, I've put on the stream before for a girl. She was a One Piece fan. She loved it. So I know one woman who's seen this. Hey, shout out to her, bro. Young Smokey, shout out to her. She has to be super based. She's extremely based. If she loved the stream, hey, she's based. We love her, chat. We love her as a fellow friend and supporter. Shout out to her. And again, Smokey, thank you for the 1,000 super chats today, man. You've really went above and beyond. Thank you, man. And L with the 2 says it's a holy night. Holy nights. So you co-signed the theory of holy nights on Elbaf. I think the holy nights are gonna be sent by Emu. But if you think that's a holy night right now, hey, we'll see, man. Maybe there's a holy night waiting for the Straw Hats. The Holy Knights knew that the Straw Hats were going to show up on Elbaf, so the Holy Knights are like, all right, let's beat them to Elbaf. Let's show up on Elbaf before they get there. And as soon as they land, boom, we attack them. Oakley said, young Smokey, if you're hiring, I need a job. LOL. Young Smokey with another 10, bro. God bless you. Thank you, Young Smokey. Just still going on, bro. Thank you, bro, with the 10. He says, yeah, she might be Robin. I'm gonna put a baby in her. Hey, if she's a Robin, bro, if she is not a Jezebel, you should wife her. Okay? What more can you ask of a woman than not being a Jezebel? You know, being a good girl, being an intellectual, being a One Piece fan. The only other checkbox is being a woman of Christ. That's the perfect ideal woman. A woman who believes in Christ, a woman who is therefore not a Jezebel, and a woman that likes One Piece. If you find that in a woman chat, wife her up immediately. But be careful, do not wife up these Jezebels. These Jezebels are not worth your time. May they repent, may they seek repentance and find the Lord, but they are not for wifing, chat. We do not wife Jezebels. Eric said Smokey owns an oil farm. This man Smokey owns like 15 oil rigs, dude. See, guys, when you question why the US constantly goes for these Middle Eastern wars for oil, you can blame Smokey. He's at fault, chat. It's because of Smokey that we're constantly going through these Middle Eastern wars. Oh, Leon, now I know what you're saying. You keep saying YS. I didn't know what you meant by YS. You're talking about Young Smokey. Oh, I thought you were like abbreviating the word yes. I was thinking like, why is he abbreviating yes? It's only 3 letters. Now that makes sense. I get it now. Okay. Leon, you have to bear with me, bro. I'm a little, guys, am I allowed to call myself the R word? Guys, be honest. Can I call myself the R word, or are you guys gonna get butthurt? Because in this stream, bro, we have free speech. You guys can say whatever you want. You guys literally can insult me in the chat. I believe in free speech. Just say it. Well, I gotta do the Alex Jones, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of retarded. So when you say YS, I didn't think it was Young Smokey. L with the 2, thank you, bro. Eric said, if you don't, I will. L with the 2, thank you, bro. He says, if there's any Jezebels here, hit me up. See, L, no wonder you're a Sanji fan. No wonder you're a Sanji fan. You see this chat? Look. It comes out of the horse's mouth. L with the $2 super chat, thank you, bro. He says, if there's any Jezebels here, hit me up. Wow, bro. See, this is why I don't respect Sanji fans. I just don't respect them. They don't deserve my respect. When I see a Sanji fan, all right, guys, listen. It's been a wonderful, amazing stream. We're going to wrap this up here soon, okay? I'm going to wrap it up in a little bit. If you guys have any questions, any theories, any comments or concerns, comment down below. Again, guys, like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss our streams. Comment down below. What do you think about the chapter? Are you guys excited for the chapter? Are you guys going to look at the raws? Are you guys going to avoid the raws? Are you guys going to read the officials? Are you guys waiting for the live action to come back? Comment down below, guys. What are your thoughts about One Piece right now? The Will of Dream says, God loves harlots and Jezebels. Without them, you got nothing to repent for. Hey, Will of Dreams, you're not lying, man. It was Jesus. By the words of Jesus, he said, yo, he pretty much said, yo, bro, for the way these tax collectors act to me, the way they act to each other, the harlot will be accepted before them, right? Hey, I didn't say it. Jesus said it. You know what I'm talking about, Will of Dreams. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Let the harlot be accepted and repent and make it to the kingdom before these tax collectors who refuse to repent, who refuse to see God. So, hey, look, listen, when I'm going off on the Jezebels, guys, don't take it too seriously. I know you guys, like 99% of you guys know I'm not being too serious about it, right? Like, we could correct each other. We could correct each other as fellow humans. But, like, I'm not saying that these are, like, terrible people, that they should suffer. Johan says, Emu will have 2 personalities like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. She will be linked to Law thanks to that, and her face will be revealed in God Valley, parallel to Dressrosa. Yeah, man. Chat, that's another thing. When are we getting the rest of God Valley? Maybe we could get the rest of God Valley through the perspective of Garp. Mary Magdalene was saved. Bro, see, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it. Anyone could be saved. Anyone could be saved. Romans chapter 2, verses 28 through 29. For he is not a Jew who is one outwardly, nor is circumcision merely outward and physical. No, being a Jew is being circumcised inwardly. It is of the heart, by the Spirit, not by the written code. Philippians chapter 3, verse 3. For it says, it is we who are the true circumcision, we who serve God by his Spirit and boast in Christ Jesus. Don't boast in man, guys. Men will fail you. These celebrities, these influencers, these sports players, these rappers, definitely these rappers, completely corrupt. Don't boast in man. Don't even boast in yourself, chat. Boast in the one who died for you. Boast in the one who has proven to the world that he is the way and the truth of the life. Boast in the one who said that no one can get to the Father except through him. That's who you boast in. That's how you get saved, and anyone could do it. It has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with tradition. It has nothing to do with wearing a tiny hat. It has to do with bending down and praising the Lord for all that he has done for you. I have not heard the new Kendrick. Not Immortal Technique. He's a conscious truth rapper. There's nothing wrong with respecting people. I'm just saying boasting in people, you know? You could respect people. Of course, respect people. Of course, respect people who deserve honor. Of course, we're supposed to love our neighbor and our enemy. I'm not saying don't love people. I'm just saying, like, you know, some people, bro, we get caught up in loving man too much. When man by nature is sinful and corrupt. Think about how many famous people, how many great people who have fell. They've fallen, bro. You look at this celebrity, you look at this streamer, you're like, oh, they're such a great guy, they're an awesome person. Boom, 1 month later, this guy was talking to little kids. You can't put your faith into humans, bro. You can respect them, you can love them, but you got to be careful. You cannot worship people. Don't even worship me. If you really wanted to show me you loved me, you would follow Christ. That's what I would say. So you guys who love my channel, love my streams, my theories, you think I'm a great guy, whatever it is, look, bro, do not boast in me. If you want to do me a favor, boast in Christ instead. May he be glorified in through me to bring Christ glory. And he reminds me of Alice Cooper. Who's Alice Cooper again? Bruh, Dance with the Devil is Crazy door handle. Is that a song? Is that a Kendrick song? Don't fall into the trap of intellectual rap. Don't forget Kanye West got on his knees in front of Jay-Z. Dude, that's insane. Is that actually a thing? Did he actually get on his knees to Jay-Z? First of all, pause. Second of all, what are you doing, bro? And the fact that Jay-Z calls himself Hove, hey, time out. There's only one Jehovah, and you ain't him. Let's get it straight. Let's set it straight, okay? There's only one Jehovah. Jay-Z, you are not him. You are nowhere near him. And you know this man Jay-Z was connected to Diddy. Ah, yes, yeah, we know it. You know it. I know it. We know it. This man Jay-Z, he loved them Diddy parties. Come on now. He wanted to be Basquiat. Jay-Z wants to be Basquiat. But wait, what was Basquiat doing? What were his interests? Come on, bro. Chat. Listen, this is why I really want people to boast in Christ and follow Jesus, bro. Jesus lifts the veil from your eyes, bro. You asked why Luffy would be in town without Loki being already free if he agreed to Loki's terms, but Loki told him he needed a key for the shackles. Oh, Joshua, that's a good point. Shout out to Joshua. Joshua. Shout out to Joshua Port. Great point. Great point, Joshua. So maybe Luffy did accept the deal and he's looking for the key now. Good point. I can't rebut that or rebuttal. There's no rebuttal I have. Hey, that's a good point. Guys, focus on what Joshua Port is saying. He's talking to me in the chat. He said, you asked why Luffy would be in town without Loki being already free if he agreed to Loki's terms. But Loki told him he needed a key for the shackles that was in the town above. So the only rebuttal I could think is like, okay, well, couldn't Luffy have just used Haki? Couldn't Luffy just have used Conqueror's Haki to break the shackles? But I don't know. That maybe he's following, because then that's like, okay, well, why mention the key then, you know? You get what I'm saying? Like, why mention the key at all if he was just gonna break the shackles with his Haki? And if he was gonna break the shackles, then he would be free. So then that wouldn't work. So yeah, the shackle. That's a good point, Joshua. Shout out to Joshua Port. That is a great point. Maybe Luffy accepted and he's looking for the key. That's a great point. Can Haki break Sea Stone? That's a good question. Can Haki break Sea Stone? Because it seems that Sea Stone nullifies Devil Fruits, not Haki. Sea Stone oppresses Devil Fruits, not Haki per se, right, chat? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Chat, 1 for yes, 2 for no. Can Haki destroy Sea Stone? Didn't Rayleigh break Kami Sea Stone? That's a good point. Shabandi arc, right? Didn't Rayleigh literally break the cuffs off of those guys? What do you think about Neuralink? Dude, chat, do not get Neuralink, bro. Are you out of your mind? Chat, do not get a microchip put into your brain. Please, chat. Do not get psyoped by the usual suspects. Please don't do that. This is not transhumanism, bro. We do not strive for transhumanism. Chat, you are not iRobot. You hear me? You are not iRobot. You are a human, bro. And you were made perfectly in the image of God. God made men and women. Okay? There's no other. It's woman and man. There's no other option. He made you perfectly, chat. Embrace who you are. Love who you are. Work on yourself. Maybe you could eat cleaner. Maybe go for a jog, lift weights. You know, maybe a little bit of makeup. I wouldn't be a pro advocate of makeup, but chat, God made you perfectly. Do not go and get a Neuralink chip. And for those people that, you know, maybe they have some kind of disability, okay, maybe we can work something out with that. But chat, you guys are normal people. We're all like, by the average, you do not need a microchip in your brain. Do not do that, please. You are not Kuma, dude. You are not Bartholomew. Be wary of anything that may end up being the mark. Yeah, bro, on the forehead or on the right hand. The mark of the beast that will allow you to buy and sell. See? Look, you see how evil Satan is? You see how evil the Antichrist is? You see how evil he is, right? You have to get the mark of the beast on your right hand or your forehead so that you could buy or sell. So the Antichrist is going to be using trade. He's going to be using occupations to take advantage of people. But the thing is through the book of Revelations, people will know, bro. They're going to know. It's not like people are going to be tricked into getting the mark of the beast. They're going to know and they're going to concede and they're going to succumb to it. Chat, you got to be strong in your will. Trust in Jesus. No pure humans, no effing ogs. Humanity first will stand strong. Humanity first. It's crazy that we have to even say that. Isn't it crazy that we have to say humanity first, humanity first? Shouldn't that just be like the basis, you know? Neuralink is literally out of Deus Ex. If you know, you know. We should segregate those with Neuralink. Nah, don't even segregate those with Neuralink. Segregate the people who are pushing Neuralink. Make them live somewhere else, dude. Wouldn't bad people just cut off people's hands with the microchips to steal their money / identity? Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. Dang. But the thing is in the book of Revelations, you have to be careful with the wording, because when it says there will be a mark on the hand and the forehead, you have to look at I'm pretty sure Revelations was written in Hebrew. It was either Hebrew or Greek. Either way, you have to look at the careful wording, the original wording, because a lot of people perceive it as an actual mark, not like a microchip. So there's a debate behind that. But yeah, I get your point though. People could take the chip or take the mark and go and buy and sell and trade with it, you know? That's wild. Aramaic. It was written in Aramaic. Do you like Ivankov or Bon Clay? Yeah, I love them both. Ivankov is an amazing character who had great theorizing with Dragon, and Ivankov is just a fun character. I love Ivankov, and Bon Clay is one of the best characters in the whole story. I bought a bunch of One Piece bounty posters. You guys remember when I first started my channel, I hung all of them up in my background. Bon Clay is one of the greatest pseudo straw hats, one of the greatest characters. And I think that I think the reason you're asking me if I like Ivankov or Bon Clay is because I don't agree in certain identities. I don't agree in certain ways of life. But here's the thing that people don't understand. If you love someone, you can still disagree in their way of life. If your family member was addicted to drugs, and you told them, please, I love you, don't do this, I want what's best for you, please stop doing the drug, you would say that that doesn't mean you hate them. You do it out of love, you know? So I think people are too caught up in their emotional tendencies and their biases, and they misconstrue things, you know? So even though I believe that God made men and women in his image and he made you perfectly, and you have to embrace who you are, even if you have a little bit of quirks, embrace who you are, be strong, right? It doesn't necessarily mean I would hate those people, right? Like, I could hate a certain aspect of Zoro. Does that mean I hate Zoro? I could not like a certain thing about Luffy. Does that mean I hate Luffy? Just because you disagree with one thing about a person doesn't mean you have to hate everything about them. And see, this goes all the way back to Jesus. This goes back to the Gospels. You are called to not only love your neighbor, but love your enemy. And then look at the parable of the Good Samaritan. Who is your neighbor? They asked him, wait, who's your neighbor? Everyone's your neighbor. But anyways, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up here. It's been an amazing, awesome stream. Chat, lots of fun, lots of theories. I'm excited to see where this whole Sunstone thing goes. I'm excited to see where the plot line of the Loki promise with Luffy goes. I'm curious to see if Kid is going to come back. I'm curious to see who the man walking through the forest of 1132 is. This was a great stream, guys. God bless you all. Take care. I ask you guys to seek Christ. Put away your emotional biases. I'm not forcing anyone here to do anything. Obviously, you guys are free to live how you want. You guys have free will. But I implore you guys, I invite you guys to go read the Gospels as historical documents. It's not a story. It's a document. It's a biography. Go read what it says and question yourself. Is this someone I should put my trust in? Go look into the thousands of manuscripts. Go look into the thousands of copies we have of the Old Testament. Go see what the truth is and go ask yourself, is this someone I should follow? And hopefully you get led to Christ because he will renew you just like how he renewed me. Chat, I was a slave to sin. I used to drink alcohol. I wasn't like anywhere near an alcoholic, but I did used to drink alcohol at one point. I used to smoke weed every single day for many years, and he renewed me. I used to live in envy. I used to live in anger. I used to be very judgmental. I used to live completely in sin, chat. I was a slave to sin. But now seeking Christ and having the Holy Spirit within me and putting my faith and trust, every ounce of my mind, body, soul, and might into Christ, he has renewed me. So now I die daily. I die daily. I die to my flesh. I kill my sin. I kill my flesh. That's what I'm doing. You guys want to know what I do every day? I'm killing my flesh every day, and it's not easy. Life is war, and war is life. We're here to kill our flesh because everything that is of flesh is death, and everything that is of spirit is life. Spirit and flesh are diametrically opposed. They are contrary to one another, and that's why there's so much sin and evil in the world. It derives from the flesh. Go seek the Spirit, because the truth, love, light, everything that's holy in this world is from the Spirit, and it will renew you. It'll give you peace of mind. You'll be able to live comfortably. When you suffer, you can lean on Christ. You can depend on who is in you, not who is in the world. He will give you inner peace like you've never imagined, and you're going to realize that there's too many lies about Jesus Christ in the Bible. God bless you all, chat. We'll be back very shortly. We'll be back very soon for the chapter reaction. Get your drinks ready, get your snacks ready, get a meal ready, order a pizza, get whatever it is you want to snack out to and pig out to, because we're going to react to the chapter. It's going to be a beautiful chapter. And the best thing of all, chat, no break next week. Have a nice morning, day, or night.